Members, please take your seats. Retire to the seats outside the rail. Please take all sidebar conversations outside of the council chambers. All those present, please put your cell phones on vibrant and/or silence. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. To give our invocation this morning, the chair recognizes Reverend Dr. Donna Lawrence Jones, founding pastor of the Cookman Beloved Community Baptist Church. She is here today as guest of Councilmember Jamie Gauthier. I will ask all members and guests to please rise.
Council President, Councilwoman Gauthier, guests, advocates, Philadelphians. Almighty God, we are, first of all, grateful for the opportunity that you give this council that serves the city of love and affection known as Philadelphia, a place that started out as cradle of liberty, a place that has its history in welcoming people from all over the world, regardless of status, a safe city. It is a place of our vision, a place where all of your children have enough and nobody has too little. It's a place of beloved community. These your servants have gathered today to honor those residents, visitors, no matter how they've come into our city, those houseless, those without safe housing, that the advocates are here to plead for today, and so many other issues that face and disface your will and your way. We ask that you give these members courage and strength to love, that you give them listening ears and hearing hearts, that you give them ability beyond what they know to come up with solutions beyond what we know to bring about peace, justice, and equity for every man, woman, boy, and girl, whether they've crossed the bridge or crossed the street. All our neighbors. Allow us to support them in their work, encourage them in their work, challenge them in their work, and advocate for those who are neighbors for all of us. Help them to hear us, to take it in, to not dismiss, but to rightfully struggle to find the middle ways necessary for justice and peace to be present here, especially now, at a time where free speech is threatened, at a time where the Constitution is challenged, at a time where we're wondering, is America possible? Let us know that with you, all things are possible. Amen. And that this sacred and important experiment of ours can be seen, felt, understood, and celebrated in this city. We're grateful for your wisdom. You're grateful for all the ways you give us the courage and the strength, the love and the joy to serve you in spirit and in truth. In the name of all that is holy, amen.
Amen. The chair thanks the Reverend for the invocation. Council will be at ease. The next order of business is the approval of the journal of the meeting of Thursday, March the 12th, 2026. The chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the journal of the meeting of Thursday, March 12, 2026 be approved.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the journal of the meeting of Thursday, March the 12th, 2026 stand approved. All in favor will indicate by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the journal is approved. The next order of business is request for leave of absence, and the chair recognizes Councilmember Catherine Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the majority, a leave of absence is requested for Councilmember Thomas and Councilmember Lozada.
The chair thanks the majority leader. Leave will be granted. The chair recognizes Councilmember and Minority Whip Nicholas O'Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the minority, a leave of absence is requested for Minority Leader Kendra Brooks.
The chair thanks Member O'Rourke. Leave will be granted. The chair recognizes now Majority Leader Catherine Gilmore Richardson for a motion concerning certain legislative matters that may arise during the course of today's session of council and that were not listed on the calendar circulated prior to today's council session.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that any of the following matters, if considered today, may be added to the agenda for this session of council and as required by law, subsequently published on an amended agenda after the consideration of those matters. Resolutions authorizing hearings, amendments to bills on first reading, the reconsideration of a bill vetoed by or recalled from the mayor, amendments to bills recalled from the mayor, resolutions taking substantive action to be voted on in this session, a motion to withdraw a bill or resolution that is not on the calendar, and a motion placing a bill or resolution on or returning a bill or resolution from the suspension calendar that is not listed on today's calendar. The purpose of this motion is to provide the public with notice concerning possible actions by council that arose too late to be included on the calendar that was published prior to today's session.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the legislative matters stated by Majority Leader Catherine Gilmore Richardson may be added to the agenda for today should those matters arise during the course of this session of council. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the motion carries. The chair will dispense with the regular order of business to recognize the guests and visitors joining us in chambers this morning. On behalf of all members of City Council, I welcome you to our council session. We appreciate your taking the time to join us as we attend to the legislative affairs of our great city, and we certainly invite you to come again. The chair at this time recognizes Councilmember Mike Driscoll.
Good morning, Mr. President. Today I'm pleased to welcome a group of dedicated community autism peer specialists from mental health partnerships who are visiting us here in City Council. The CAPS program is truly groundbreaking. It is the first program of its kind in the nation, connecting individuals on the autism spectrum with trained peers who share lived experiences. These specialists provide community-based behavioral support, helping people build independence, strengthen social connections, and fully participate in their communities. These specialists serve young people and adults ages 14 and older with autism who may struggle with social, vocational, or daily challenges. By working with someone who truly understands their experience, participants gain confidence, skills, and a stronger sense of belonging in our communities. Please join me in welcoming and recognizing the community autism peer specialists from mental health partnerships who are with us in the gallery today.
Thank you very much, Member Driscoll. Also want to acknowledge the City Solicitor, the Honorable Christy Brady. Thank you for joining us as well today. I'm sorry, City Controller, Christy Brady. Thank you for joining us today. Also want to acknowledge the Honorable Patrick Dugan. Thank you for joining us today as well. The chair acknowledges Councilman Jamie Gauthier.
Thank you, Council President. I want to take a moment to welcome Mrs. Renfro, Baba Renfro, Nicole Green, and the Osage Avenue and Pine Street community who are here today as we rename the 6200 block of Osage Avenue, Mr. Gerald Wayne Renfro Way, after the late giant of our community. We are very pleased to have you here today. Can you stand up?
Welcome. The chair recognizes Councilman Curtis Jones, Jr.
Thank you, Mr. President, colleagues, and those that are here today. I'd like to welcome the National Coalition of 100 Black Women to our chambers. They are no strangers, but they are back here today dressed in black. Please rise. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome. Welcome. The chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Nina Ahmed.
Thank you, Council President. I want to take a moment to recognize my guest here today. In recognition of Women's History Month, I introduced a resolution honoring Dr. Kyne Zaw Arthur, who is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Asian American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Philadelphia. And would she please stand and let us all congratulate her for her leadership and entrepreneurial achievements.
Welcome. At this time, the chair recognizes Councilmember Curtis Jones, Jr., who will present a resolution honoring and recognizing the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Incorporated, Pennsylvania chapter, on their annual legislative day and for their dedication to advancing gender and racial equality and empowering Black women during Women's History Month. Would President Nyesha Chapman and those accompanying her please join Councilmember Curtis Jones at the podium. Joining Councilmember Curtis Jones are the following council members: Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips, Councilmember Jamie Gaultier, Majority Leader Catherine Gilmore Richardson, Councilmember Rue Landau, Councilmember Jeffrey J. Young, Councilmember Jim Harity, Minority Whip Nicholas O'Rourke, Majority Deputy Whip Councilmember Cindy Bass, and Councilmember Dr. Nina Ahmed. Member Jones, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. As we allow the coalition to grace us and come up, there are so many of them. I want to recognize for the record, they may only have a national coalition of 100, but last time I counted, it was 147. So they are growing in every way. What I want to say about them in Women's History Month is they're not settling for reading history. They're about the business of making history. And their contribution in the Philadelphia chapter, I've grown to appreciate because brothers, they run in circles around us. They have an agenda. Their meetings are run professionally and with a certain degree of decorum, Mr. President, that you would appreciate. And they move on issues, whether it's economic issues, whether it's social justice issues, whether it's housing issues, to make a difference in our city. And although they are a national coalition, they do not neglect Philadelphia's agenda. And for that, we are honoring them today. And with that, therefore, Catherine Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you so much to my district colleague, Councilmember Jones. It is certainly my humble honor and privilege to stand with my sisters of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Pennsylvania chapter. So today we are honoring and recognizing the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated Pennsylvania chapter on our annual legislative day, and for our dedication to advancing gender and racial equity and empowering Black women during Women's History Month. And whereas the Coalition of Black Women was formed in 1970 by 24 visionary Black women led by Edna Beach, gathered in New York City to address social, economic, and political issues impacting their families and communities, giving rise to the Coalition of 100 Black Women, a key organization dedicated to advancing gender and racial equity. And
whereas, under Edna Beach's leadership, the coalition addressed the root cause of inequality, mobilized Black women who shared their vision, and became a visible force advocating for the empowerment of Black women in both the public and private sector. And
welcome to my coalition sisters. And whereas, by 1981, the New York Coalition had over 500 members. And as they gained recognition, they expanded their mission and vision nationwide. On October 24th of that year, the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated was formed, with Jewel Jackson McCabe selected as their first national president. And
love this day. Whereas in 1981, Jewel Jackson McCabe encouraged Sylvia Webster of Pennsylvania to charter a local chapter. Embracing the idea, Webster chartered the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Inc., Pennsylvania chapter, NC 100 BWPA, with 42 progressive women. And
whereas, over the years, the indomitable National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated, Pennsylvania chapter, has grown to 200 members and has worked tirelessly to advocate for Black women and girls, advancing leadership development, gender equity, and social justice, particularly in the areas of health, education, and economic empowerment, while empowering thousands of Black women to lead in their communities, in their workplaces, and beyond. And
whereas, the National Coalition of 100 Black Women of Pennsylvania continues to be a powerful voice of gender equity and socio-political and advancement, driving meaningful change to benefit Black women and girls. Additionally, NC 100 BWPA plays a key role in fulfilling the National Coalition's vision of a world where socioeconomic inequity does not exist for Black women and girls. And
whereas the NC 100 BWPA members consist of a dynamic network of progressive Black women, including physicians, lawyers, educators, entrepreneurs, and other skilled professionals who serve as change agents. They have recognized various needs in the Philadelphia community and contributed in many ways, including advocating for racial and social justice while striving to create a positive impact in their communities. And
whereas NC 100 BWPA remains committed to mentoring, leadership development, and fostering future generations of Black women leaders, recognizing that they are essential to leadership continuity and must continue to lead the charge in effecting positive change. And
whereas the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Inc., Pennsylvania chapter continued success and impact are a testament to the strength, determination, and vision of its founders who have bridged generational gaps, created programs that respond to the unique needs of their communities, and maintained a steadfast and empowering Black women through advocacy, education, and strategic partnerships. Now, therefore be it.
Resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia that we hereby honor and recognize the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated, Pennsylvania chapter for our tireless dedication to advancing gender and racial equity, our unwavering commitment to the empowerment of Black women, and our significant contributions to shaping the future of leadership and advocacy for women of color right here in the city of Philadelphia, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and across the United States of America. Congratulations.
Before we bring up Ms. Chapman, I would be remiss and wouldn't be able to live with Wilhelmina Moore, who introduced me to this coalition. and Charlita Davis of my staff, who fights tirelessly for this group. Thank you.
The chair recognizes President Naisha Chapman.
Thank you. Good morning, council members, distinguished guests, and advocates, partners. My name is Naisha Chapman, and I have the honor of serving as the president of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Pennsylvania chapter. We are grateful for the opportunity to be here today, not just to be seen, but to be heard, and more importantly, to be a part of solutions that are shaping our communities. The National Coalition of 100 Black Women was founded in 1970 by a group of visionary Black women in New York City who understood that advocacy, leadership, and collective action were necessary to drive meaningful change. What began as a small coalition has grown into a national organization with chapters across the country committed to advocacy on behalf of Black women and girls in the areas of health, education, economic empowerment, and public policy. For more than 5 decades, our work has been rooted in one core belief: that Black women are not just participants in democracy, we are the architects of it. Legislative Day is not just a visit, it's a reminder that policy is personal, that behind every bill, every vote, and every budget decision, there are real people, families that are navigating rising housing costs, women building businesses without access to capital, young people trying to find pathways to opportunity, and communities that are still fighting for equitable access to healthcare, education, and safety. As an organization, we stand at the intersection of advocacy and action. We are committed to advancing equity for Black women and girls because we understand the simple truth: when Black women thrive, communities thrive. But let's be clear, progress does not happen by accident. It happens through intentional policy. It happens through courageous leadership. And it happens when organizations like ours and leaders like you all in partnership, not in parallel. Today we come with both appreciation and expectation. We appreciate the work that has been done to move our city forward, and we expect continued commitment to policies that center equity, expand opportunity, and remove systematic barriers that too many of our communities still face. We are especially focused on economic empowerment and closing the wealth gap, equitable access to safe and affordable housing, maternal and women's health outcomes, education and workforce pathways for our youth, and the protection of civil and human rights in every space. These are not abstract priorities, these are urgent realities. And while we recognize the complexity of governing, we also recognize the power of collaboration. Our members are not just advocates, we are professionals, leaders, subject matter experts, and community stakeholders ready to partner, advise, and help move meaningful policy forward. So today is not the end of the conversation, it's the continuation of one. We invite you to engage with us, to listen to the lived experiences of the communities we serve, and to work alongside us to build the city that is not only prosperous, but just. Because at the end of the day, the question is not whether we can afford to invest in equity, the question is, can we not afford to? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your leadership and your commitment to the people of the city. We look forward to continuing the work together, and I want to say personally thank you to Councilman Johnson, Council President Johnson, Councilman Jones, Councilwoman Gautier, who's my councilwoman, Councilwoman Catherine Gilmore Richardson, Councilwoman Bass, and all of the council members that are here today, and to the ladies that are standing beside me and with me, we thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Councilor, be at ease. At this time, the chair recognizes Councilmember Mark Squilla, who will present a resolution recognizing and honoring Robert Faulds for his exceptional service to the United States Navy and to the city of Philadelphia. With Robert Faulds and those accompanying him, please join Councilmember Squilla at the podium. Joining Councilmember Squilla are Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips, Councilmember Jamie Gaultier, Councilmember Jim Harity, Councilmember Nicholas O'Rourke, Councilmember Mike Driscoll, floor is yours, Member Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before we get started today, I first want to thank Councilmember Lozada, who introduced this legislation, as well as Tom for leading us here today. This is a resolution representing an individual who assisted the city and has worked tirelessly to make his neighbors around him able to access resources, as well as looking out for the city and the resources that are owed to them. So today, before I begin, I'd like to recognize special guests joining me, for Mr. Robert Faulds, City Controller Christy Brady, Director Gregory Wright, from the Council Veteran Office, Judge Patrick Dugan from the Korean War Memorial Board, and Head Counsel Ye-Young Lee from the Republic of Korea. Thank you all for being here. At 93 years old, Mr. Faulds is not only a proud Navy veteran of the Korean War, but also a lifelong resident of Kensington and a member of the Korean War Memorial, located on Columbus Boulevard in the 1st Council District. It stands as a tribute to those who served along with our city residents. Although Councilmember Lozada cannot be here today, I am proud to join her in honoring Mr. Faulds' legacy. Council President, before we present the resolution, the head of council and Judge Dugan will be able to, receive a microphone to be able to cast an honors on Mr. Faulds.
Ambassador for Peace official proclamation. It is a great honor and pleasure to express the everlasting gratitude of the Republic of Korea and our people for the service you and your countrymen have performed in restoring and preserving our freedom and democracy. Bob actually went to Korea at the age of 17. We cherish in our hearts the memory of your boundless sacrifices in helping us reestablish our free nation. In grateful recognition of your dedicated contribution, it is our privilege to proclaim you an ambassador for peace with every good wish of the people of the Republic of Korea. Let each of us reaffirm our mutual respect and friendship that they may endure for generations to come. On behalf of the Minister of the Patriots and Veterans Affairs of the Republic of Korea, congratulations, Sailor Robert Faulds, proud Philadelphian.
Tom. Thank you, Judge Dugan, and now I'd like to recognize our controller, Christy Brady.
Mr. Faulds is someone special in our office, too. And today I am honored to recognize such an extraordinary Philadelphia resident for his exceptional service to our city. At 93 years old, a retired veteran, graduate of North Catholic, he continues a lifetime of public service, helping fellow residents find tax relief and recover unclaimed property. But Mr. Faulds didn't stop there. He came to our office with concerns about individuals and businesses fraudulently filing for the homestead exemption. Through his diligence and initiative, he gave our team a critical starting point. Because of that work, we launched an investigation that uncovered millions of dollars in fraud within the program, leading to the removal of individuals and businesses who are improperly receiving the benefit and helping to protect vital resources for the city and our school district. Today, we are proud to present him with a citation and recognition of his exceptional service to the city of Philadelphia. Mr. Faulds, you embody the very best of public service. Your vigilance, integrity, and commitment remind us that government works best when citizens are engaged. On behalf of the city of Philadelphia, thank you for your service, your dedication, and your lasting impact on this city. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Councilman Mark Squiller.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for allowing us to honor Mr. Faulds for his work that he has done. And today we're recognizing and honoring him for his exceptional service to the United States Navy and to the city of Philadelphia. Whereas Robert Faulds, a Korean War Navy veteran, lifelong Kensington resident, a retired insurance professional, at 92 years old, continues to demonstrate extraordinary dedication to his city and its people. And whereas Mr. Faulds graduated with honors from North Catholic High School and subsequently enlisted in the United States Navy to serve in the Korean War, a rare photograph of his enlistment was published in the bulletin. And
whereas the U.S. Toledo CA-133 was home to Mr. Faulds while sailing on the East China Sea, and whereas following the conclusion of the Korean War with the armistice signed on July 27, 1953, Mr. Faulds returned to his home, the U.S. Toledo CA-133, anchored in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii after combat. And
whereas Robert Faulds' siblings demonstrated commendable service to our nation, James Joseph served in World War II. Philip William fulfilled his duties in the Navy. Joseph James contributed to the U.S. Coast Guard, and Robert Joseph also served in the Navy. Their collective dedication reflects a strong commitment to our country's defense and values. And whereas, while recovering from a stroke, Faulds embraced the internet to stay engaged and give back to his community. He spent countless hours researching and uncovering unclaimed assets and potential fraud within the city of Philadelphia's property tax relief program. And whereas with no staff and limited resources, Mr. Faulds took it upon himself to track down Philadelphians eligible for tax relief or unclaimed assets, alerting approximately 1,500 families to funds and exemptions they were entitled to, all while personally covering the cost of postage and ink for his letters. And whereas, in addition to assisting Philadelphia residents with their tax relief and unclaimed assets, Mr. Faulds noticed discrepancies in the city's homestead exemption program, including properties with out-of-state mailing addresses, mailing claims for the exemption by the same individuals and even businesses and landlords improperly receiving the benefit. And whereas, rather than ignoring these discrepancies, Mr. Faulds took action by alerting the city controller's office, which launched a thorough investigation into the issue. This effort led to the identification of over 23,000 properties that were improperly enrolled in the program, resulting in an estimated $11 million in lost revenue annually for the city and school district. And
whereas, thanks to Mr. Faulds' vigilance and dedication, the investigation prompted recommendations to strengthen the verification process for the homestead exemption, including better cross-checking of names and addresses, penalties for fraudulent claims, and increased oversight of out-of-city beneficiaries. And whereas Mr. Faulds' tireless work not only exposed significant fraud within the homestead exemption program, but also helped safeguard millions of dollars in city and school district funds that are critical to providing vital services to Philadelphia's residents. And
whereas Mr. Faulds' contributions to the city and his community reflect the highest standards of civic responsibility, public service, and selflessness, serving as a model for others to follow in their own efforts to make a difference in the lives of others. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Philadelphia that it hereby honors Robert Faulds for his exceptional service, unwavering dedication, and significant contributions to both the community and the City of Philadelphia. Further resolved that an engrossed copy of this resolution be presented to Robert Faulds as evidence of the true and sincere admiration and respect of this legislative body.
Chair now recognizes Mr. Faulds.
Well, it certainly is a pleasure to be here in Philadelphia City Hall. I've always been on the outside of this building and wondered about things that go on inside with all these dedicated people. And I just felt that maybe there was something that I could do, and I just went about it, and actually it has really helped me pass the time of day because I'm on the internet so much that I forget my own troubles and illnesses, and I even had to give up driving 2 years ago, which was a blow to me then. But being that I come on the internet now and see that there are a lot of other things that I could help out with, especially the people in the area where I was brought up, which unfortunately doesn't have a good reputation, maybe, Kensington. But I'm so glad that I had a good mother and a good father who really watched out for us and were good examples for us to follow. And they fortunately lived a pretty long life. And they did the same thing that I did, although I imagine that during World War II, and it's around that time, they had their 4 sons all go off at one time to the service, one to the Coast Guard, one to the Army, and 2 to the Navy, all at one time. And I kept, I didn't realize it, but the few chances I got to write letters home, I thought they were just discarded letters. But lo and behold, when I got home, there was a stack of letters, which I still have, and trying to keep my relatives posted on what we were doing. And the best part of my career was the time off Korea. My brother's ship, a cruiser, came alongside my ship, which was a tanker, and we refueled his ship. And this is all in a war zone. And while we're there, I thought I'd take a chance and ask if I could go visit my brother on what they called the High Line. And because my captain of my ship was a submarine captain, very famous in World War II, I received permission to go sit in a chair and be hauled across to his ship, because both ships at the time were proceeding about 15, 20 miles an hour, and we're off a war zone. So good that the Koreans didn't have submarines, because we would have been sitting ducks with them, I'm sure. But as it was, but I better save my war stories for a better moment or another time, or maybe if I live to be 100, I'll be able to get them all in.
Council will be at ease. The next order of business is communications. The chair requests that the sergeant at arms deliver the messages from the mayor to the chief clerk. The chief clerk will read the messages from the mayor and any other communications in her possession.
To the President and members of the Council of the City of Philadelphia, I'm submitting herewith for the consideration of your honorable body the following proposed. An ordinance authorizing the Procurement Commissioner to enter into agreements to purchase electricity, natural gas, and motor fuel for use by the city in city facilities and vehicles, including agreements that obligate payment for delivery of such energy supplies in future fiscal years, all under certain terms and conditions. A resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 3001 Martha Street, now subdivided, resulting in the creation of 20 individual parcels known as 3011, 3013, 3015, 3017, 3019, 3021, 3023, 3025, 3027, 3029, 3031, 3033, 3035, 3037, 3039, 3041, 3043, 3045, 3047, and 3049 Martha Street, located in the 1st Councilmanic District, in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code. A resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 1212 South 17th Street, 1511 South 20th Street, 1904 South 23rd Street, 1216 South 31st Street, 1911 Garrett Street, 1932 and 2044 Titan Street, located in the 2nd Councilmanic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code. A resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 1601, 1605, 1616, 1618, 1620 North 16th Street, located in the 5th Councilmanic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code. A resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 310, 313, 503, 505 Diamond Street, 304, 309, 311, 323, and 512 West Susquehanna Avenue, 509, 511, 534, 536 West Dolphin Street, 447 West Norris Street, 516, 518 Edgeley Street, 2054, 2151 North 5th Street, 2049, 2138, 2236, 2252, 2254 North Reese Street, 2210, 2212, 2233, 2306, 2308, 2310, 2312 North Lathgrove Street, 2202, 2204 North Orkney Street, 2206 North Oriana Street, 2305, 2307, 2309 North Lawrence Street, located in the 7th Councilmanic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code. A resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 2726 North 15th Street, located in the 8th Councilmanic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code. A resolution appointing Bakir Gunaydin to the Board of Directors for the Old City Special Services District. A resolution appointing Felicia Wilson to the Board of Directors for the Old City Special Services District. A resolution appointing Ken Weller to the Board of Directors for the Old City Special Services District. And a resolution appointing Kaya Kerner to the Board of Directors for the Old City Special Services District. There are no further communications in my possession, Council President.
Thank you. The messages will be printed in the journal. The next order of business is the introduction of bills and resolutions. The chair recognizes Councilmember Dr. Anthony Phillips.
Thank you, Council President. Good morning, everyone. I have no bills or resolutions for introduction today.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Majority Leader Catherine Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I offer one privileged resolution on your behalf.
Thank you very much. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the resolution?
A privileged resolution recognizing the women of the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office during Women's History Month 2026 for their tireless service, sacrifice, and invaluable contributions to the safety and well-being of the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on the day's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jamie Gautier.
Good morning, Council President. Today I have 2 bills and 2 non-privileged resolutions.
Thank you very much. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the bills and resolutions?
An ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Ludlow Street, South 41st Street, West Girard Avenue, and North 48th Street.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And an ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Baltimore Avenue, Cobbs Creek Parkway, a SEPTA Regional Railroad right-of-way, and Cobbs Creek.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution also naming the intersection of 40th and Chestnut Street as Darcinia Burrell Way to honor the life and legacy of Darcinia V. Burrell and her lasting contributions to the community.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration in the next session of council.
And a non-privileged resolution also naming the 5100 block of Chester Avenue as Paul Ellis Hill Way to honor the life, legacy, and community impact of Paul Ellis Hill in the Kingsessing neighborhood.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration in the next session of council. The chair recognizes Councilman Curtis Jones, Jr.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I offer one bill and one privileged resolution.
Thank you very much. The Chief Clerk, please read the title of the bill and resolution.
An ordinance removing the parking lane and prohibiting stopping on the south side of Cinnaminson Street from Mitchell Street to Pekin Street.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a privileged resolution honoring the schools and principals of the 4th Council District for their ongoing commitment to coordination and staying informed through Monday morning roll call meetings.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau.
Good morning, Council President, colleagues, the public. Today I have 3 privileged resolutions.
Thank you very much. The Chief Clerk, please read the title of the resolutions.
A privileged resolution declaring March 16th through March 20th, 2026 as National LGBTQ Health Awareness Week in the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a privileged resolution authorizing the Committee on Public Health and Human Services to hold hearings examining the state of the LGBTQ+ health in Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar.
And a resolution recognizing March 31st, 2026 as Transgender Day of Visibility in the city of Philadelphia, a day to celebrate and recognize the achievements and contributions of transgender people and to lift up the joy, light, and laughter that transgender people experience and bring into our communities.
This resolution will be placed on today's final passage calendar. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jeffrey J. Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today I offer one bill, one privileged resolution, and one non-privileged resolution.
The Chief Clerk, please read the title of the bills and resolutions.
An ordinance amending Title IX of the Philadelphia Code entitled Regulation of Businesses, Trades, and Professions, and amending Section 14-604 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Accessory Uses and Structures to provide for notice to owners and residents of a building regarding dwelling units licensed for limited lodging on the property, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 1601, 1605, 1616, 1618, 1620 North 16th Street, located in the 5th Councilmatic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration in the next session of council.
And a privileged resolution honoring and recognizing March 24th, 2026 as National Cheesesteak Day in the city of Philadelphia.
This includes vegan cheesesteaks, sir. This resolution will be placed on the today's final passage calendar. Chair recognizes Councilmember Harity.
Hello, Council President. I have no bills or resolutions today.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilmember O'Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing today.
Chair recognizes Councilman Mike Driscoll.
Thank you, Mr. President. No bills or resolutions today.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilman Brian O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no bills or resolutions.
Chair recognizes Councilman Mark Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have 5 non-privileged resolutions.
Thank you very much. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of the resolutions? Councilor be at ease.
A non-privileged resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 3001 Martha Street, now subdivided, resulting in the creation of 20 individual parcels known as 3011, 3013, 3015, 3017, 3019, 3021, 3023, 3025, 3027, 3029, 3031, 3033, 3035, 3037, 3039, 3041, 3043, 3045, 3047, and 3049 Martha Street, located in the 1st Councilmatic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code.
This resolution will be referred to the appropriate committee.
That's final passage today, I'm sorry. The rest of it.
This resolution will be placed on the day's final passage calendar.
It's non-privileged, it's next week.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration in the next session of council.
Sorry. And a non-privileged resolution appointing Bakir Gunadin to the Board of Directors for the Old City Special Services District.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution appointing Felicia Wilson to the Board of Directors for the Old City Special Services District.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution appointing Ken Weller to the Board of Directors for the Old City Special Services District.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution appointing Kaya Kerner to the Board of Directors for the Old City Special Services District.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee. Chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Nina Ahmed.
Thank you, Council President. I have one privileged resolution.
Chief Clerk, please read the title of the privileged resolution.
And a privileged resolution honoring Dr. Kine Zal Arthur, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Asian American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Philadelphia, for her leadership, entrepreneurial achievements, and commitment to advancing economic opportunity and community empowerment in the city of Philadelphia.
This resolution will be placed on the day's final passage calendar, and for the record, the 4 appointment bills introduced by Member Squilla are actually resolutions. They will be referred to the appropriate committee for the record. Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilman Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. I offer one bill and one non-privileged resolution today.
Thank you very much. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the bills and resolutions.
An ordinance authorizing the Commissioner of Public Property to execute and deliver a deed to the Philadelphia Authority for Industrial Development, conveying fee simple title to a certain tract of city-owned land with buildings and improvements situated on 5928 through 30 Germantown Avenue in the 8th Councilmatic District of the City of Philadelphia.
This bill will be referred to the appropriate committee.
And a non-privileged resolution authorizing the Philadelphia Land Bank to dispose of 2726 North 15th Street, located in the 8th Councilmatic District in accordance with the terms of Chapter 16-700 of the Philadelphia Code.
This resolution will be placed on the final passage calendar for consideration at the next session of council. The next order of business is reports from committees. The chair recognizes Councilmember Jeffrey J. Young for a report from the Committee on Streets and Services.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Committee on Streets and Services reports out 10 bills with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you very much. Will the Chief Clerk please read the report?
The Committee on Streets and Services, to which were referred the following bills. Bill number 250844, an ordinance regulating the direction of movement of traffic on West Lippincott Street between 22nd Street and 23rd Street, all under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 251068, an ordinance amending Chapter 12-3000 of the Philadelphia Code, entitled Use of an Automated Red Light Enforcement System to Prevent Red Light Violations, by authorizing the installation of red light enforcement systems at the intersection of Schoolhouse Lane and Henry Avenue, all under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 251069, an ordinance regulating the direction of movement of traffic on Adams Avenue between Winghahawking Street and Frankfurt Avenue, as well as Leeper Street between Adams Avenue and Rowan Street. Bill number 251102, an ordinance authorizing encroachments in the nature of a sidewalk cafe in the vicinity of 1001 South 10th Street, Philadelphia, PA 19147 under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 260025, an ordinance authorizing the installation, ownership, and maintenance of various encroachments along the 300 block of South Broad Street, Philadelphia, PA 19102 under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 260095, an ordinance authorizing the installation, ownership, and maintenance of an elevator encroachment in the vicinity of 3400 Aramingo Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19134 under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 260115, an ordinance authorizing Mukesh Kumar Patel, owner and operator of the newsstand at the northwest corner of 34th Street and Convention Avenue and Civic Center Boulevard, to construct, use, and maintain conduits in, under, and across the northwest corner of 34th Street and Convention Avenue and Civic Center Boulevard for the purpose of supplying electric service to said newsstand under certain terms and conditions. Bill number 260131, an ordinance authorizing the City of Philadelphia to install, own, and maintain a right-of-way encroachments on the 7600, 7700, and 7800 blocks of Ogons Avenue under certain terms and conditions. And Bill number 260132, an ordinance regulating the direction of movement of traffic on Herman Street between Manor Street and Manayunk Avenue. And Bill number 260161, an ordinance authorizing the installation, ownership, and maintenance of a right-of-way encroachments in various parts of the city under certain terms and conditions. Respectfully reports it has considered the same and returns the attached bills to council with a favorable recommendation. There are no further bills to report out from the Committee on Streets and Services, Council President.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Councilman Jeffrey J. Young for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of these bills today, just read into the record by the Chief Clerk.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the rules of council be suspended so as to permit the consideration of these bills just read by the Chief Clerk at today's session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. These bills will be placed on our first reading calendar for today. The chair recognizes Councilman Jim Harity for a report from the Committee on Labor and Civil Service.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Committee on Labor and Civil Service reports out one bill with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you very much. Will the Chief Clerk please read the report?
The Committee on Labor and Civil Service, to which was referred the following bill. Bill number 251099, an ordinance amending Title 20 of the Philadelphia Code, entitled Officers and Employees to provide for compensation of the Director of Office Prison Oversight and members of the Philadelphia Prison Community Oversight Board, and amending Title 21 of the Philadelphia Code, entitled Miscellaneous, to add a new chapter providing for the powers and duties of Office of Prison Oversight and Philadelphia Prison Community Oversight Board, and the manner in which other officers, employees, and agencies shall fulfill their respective responsibilities with respect to the office and board, all under certain terms and conditions. Respectfully reports it has considered and amended the same and returns the attached bill to council with a favorable recommendation. There are no further bills to report out from the Committee on Labor and Civil Service, Council President.
Chair recognizes Councilman Jim Harity for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading this day of the bill just read into the record.
Thank you very much. It has been moved and properly seconded that the rules of council be suspended so as to permit the consideration of the bill just read by the Chief Clerk at today's session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. This bill will be placed on our first reading calendar for today. The next order of business is the consideration of the calendar. I note that the bills just reported from committees with the suspension of the rules have been deemed to have had a first reading. These bills will be placed on the second reading and final passage calendar for the next session of council. As there are no additional bills on the first reading calendar, the chair recognizes Majority Leader Kathleen Gilmore Richardson for a motion regarding the bills and resolutions on the second reading and final passage calendars.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following bills and resolutions are being called up from the second reading and final passage calendars today. Numbers 260218, 260219, 250329-A, 250330-A, 250843-AA, 260021, 260022, 260055, 260073, and 260074. The following bills and resolutions on the calendar are being held: 250768, 250807, and 250980-A. 251025 is being withdrawn.
Thank you. Before considering these bills and resolutions, we will consider public comment as follows. Your public comment must concern matters on the second reading and final passage calendars for possible action in today's council session. All speakers must sign up in order to testify. If you have not already signed up for today's council session, please do so now by giving your name to Ms. Hassan at the table outside the rails to my left. Once you have signed up, you will be called in an order in which your name appears on the sign-up sheet. Under ideal circumstances, public commenters each will have 3 minutes to speak. However, this time limit may vary from session to session. Today, the time limit will be 2 minutes. In order to be fair to all those wishing to speak, I intend to hold faithfully to the 2-minute limit. When you begin speaking, you will see a green light on the podium. When 30 seconds are remaining to your time, the light will turn yellow, which is your reminder to conclude your remarks. Once 2 minutes have passed, the light will turn red and the sergeant at arms will disconnect the microphone. At that point, please yield the podium to the next speaker if you have not already done so. I also reserve the right, pursuant to our rules of City Council, to limit repetitious comments on the same subject matter. First person I'll take a minute of personal privilege to ask to come to public comment is Margie Larney. Marnie Lowry Harity.
Thank you, Council President. Many of you know today is March 19th, or St. Joseph's Day. Many of you know my husband is Councilman Jim Harity. He always talks about Senator Buddy Sanfrani, whose birthday is today. Senator Sanfrani's brother's birthday is today. My grandfather was very good friends with them, and it's a coincidence that my parents are married 61 years today. With that, Councilman Harity was born 54 years ago today. Many of you know that Jim is a fighter, and Jim stands up. Well, that's because Jim was a breech birth. So if anybody knows what that means, you can understand where he comes from. I would like to thank Jim for telling his story many times of recovery, for letting people know that they deserve and need a second chance, for becoming a father to my children at that time. One was a junior in high school and one was a freshman in college. So that was a big commitment. And to be grandchildren to now all three of ours, Fox, who was 4, Aiden at 16, who got his class ring today, and Jordan James, 4 months old. I love you, we love you, and we are so proud of you and the commitment that you have made to our family and to the city of Philadelphia and for the work that you do. We love you, babe.
Oh, that's what's up. Happy birthday, Member Harity. Always good to see you, Marnie. Chief Clerk.
Will William Smalls, Jeremy Blastine, John McCauley, Baba Renfro, and Nicole, please make your way to the podium.
Baba Renfro.
Good morning, everybody. My name is William Small. From West Philadelphia, born and raised. Former United States Marine, 3 tours of combat duty. Today, I'm here to respectfully object to the ordinance 250807. I understand the importance of parks and public spaces. We all want a better, cleaner, more livable city. But I do not agree with the way the ordinance gives the city such broad power to acquire private property, especially through eminent domain. This bill allows the city to take land, condemned or otherwise, without clearly defining limits or protections. The kind of language is too open-ended. It gives the government the ability to take property from people who may not want to sell, people who have built lives, their businesses, the futures in the city. What makes it even more concerning is that the land can be leased out to another organization to manage. We've been through this circle already with Germantown High School when the city sold it for $100,000 to somebody from Virginia, and they denied several investors from Philadelphia. We're talking about real people here, not just parcels on the map. Homeowners, small business owners, families. These are people who deserve transparency, fairness, and a real say in what happens to the property in this city. But beyond that, I want to talk about priorities, because right now in the city, we have bigger issues that need attention. One of these issues is our public school system that is struggling. In many cases, it's failing the kids. And the charter school system is not better. I coach football at a high school that's a charter school. A lot of employers today don't even value, thank you.
Thank you. For the record,
Bill number 250807 is on hold. Thank you.
Good morning. Jeremy Blatstein speaking on all bills and resolutions. First, the Safe Homes Bill. Last week I said it wasn't ready. I'm not sure what's going on with it now, but the bill obviously had issues at hearing and the Sunshine Act. My concerns still stand, though, about the Philadelphia Sheriff's Department and the eviction process. Have you gone to tenant-landlord court? Do you understand how broken the process is? It currently takes 12 to 16 weeks just to get a lockout date after getting a judgment. 6 months minimum to start to finish for a valid eviction. If housing is a priority for Mayor Parker and this council, fix that broken process first before adding new rules on top of it. Hold the sheriff's office accountable. Second, Turn the Key. 30 affordable homes were transmitted this week by the mayor. Turn the Key is your program. This council passed it. The mayor funded it. The Land Bank Board approves qualified projects. The affordability is set. $280,000, $185,000 to the buyer after subsidies, up to 100% AMI for city workers. That's the program you designed. What's the outcome? $1,300 a month mortgages. Average AMI is 57%. Turn the Key is working. Zero displacement, turning vacant lots into generational wealth. This project meets every requirement. It was qualified. What's the problem? Councilwoman Ketsi Lozada and Councilmatic Prerogative. Yeah, any member of this body could introduce this resolution today. The land is there, the money is allocated, the program exists, the only thing missing is the bill. If you say you care about affordable housing, introduce the bill. And last but not least, we're talking about SEPTA. It's crucial to the city of Philadelphia. Fund SEPTA, make sure that the system is running efficiently, and support the SEPTA police to enforce the quality of life issues. Ride the ride, grow Philly to Millie. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is John Alante McCauley. I'm with a grassroots organization called Flip Philly Red. We're here to offer you something different because you've been voting Democrat for the mayor's office for the past 70 years. In regards to bill number 250330, or what's part of the Safe Healthy Homes Act, I would like to ask Philadelphia, are you tired of voting Democrat yet? This is what communism looks like. You work extremely hard to save your pennies, but buy some property and you can't dictate when you want to evict the tenant. Do you really own your property or not? But we know what Philly Democrat politicians love communism for, because they let Comrade Mayor Sherrell Parker raise the communist China flag in the birthplace of America. Tenants can already sue or simply move if it's a problem, but laws after laws scare away independent contractors and create more government-controlled housing. These laws breed entitlement, bad actors, not paying rent, waiting for court dates, squatting on somebody else's property just like Governor Josh Shapiro is doing right now to his neighbors. To the landlords of Philadelphia, when you raise the rents higher up front to cover eviction hassles, I'll understand it. How are you going to tell a small business owner what to do with their own property? How many bad tenants have we seen? Always playing loud music, fighting and harassing neighbors, running drugs out of properties, doing drugs in someone else's property. Are you a small business owner or a caretaker? Are there tenants or are they your children? If the Department of Licenses and Inspections isn't serving good acting tenants properly, then we don't need new laws. We need to restructure the Department of Licenses and Inspections. Over 45 million taxpayer dollars proposed for L&I in fiscal year 2026, and they can't return a phone call? Racist Democrat President LBJ said, I'm gonna have these niggas voting Democrat for the next 200 years. But you can change that in November. Stacey Garrity for governor.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you. Excuse me. Please don't use that language in these chambers. Have a wonderful day. Have a great day. Next.
Baba Renfro, Nicole, Christopher Mansfield, Nadine Herring, May Booth, Miguel Dalmo, and Seamus Brennan. Please make your way to the podium.
Thank you. Thank you to City Council and all of their distinguished guests. My name is Baba Taye Renfro, and on behalf of the Renfro family, the Osage Pine community, we would like to thank our City Council person, Jamie Gauthier, and her office and her team for putting forth this resolution to rename the 6200 block of Osage Avenue after my father, Gerald Wayne Renfro, as Gerald Wayne Renfro Way. I'd like to also thank Lefty, Brother Lefty here to the right of me. He really led the charge in bringing all the paperwork down to the city council person's chambers here to push everything along. Our brother Arnett, we'd like to thank him. I'd like to thank others that also helped in getting the petition signed. We'd like to thank Original Works of Art, my brother's nonprofit organization, for also leading the charge. This is something special to me, my siblings, my mother, and my family. Our father was a leader in our community for over 40 years to help make sure that the residents of the Osage Pine community stayed in their homes, was able to have decent housing amidst the MOVE bombing of 1985. Amen. So with that, we'd like to thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done. We truly appreciate it. It will never be forgotten. And we'd like to thank everyone here for your time and consideration today for this resolution. Amen. To God be the glory.
Good morning. My name is Chris Mansfield. It feels weird being on this side. I'm used to like being on the other side shooting, so this feels different. But I just wanted to say this is a great thing happening for Mrs. Renfro. I've been on that block for about 6 years now. My wife and I, who's over there, hello wife. And I got to meet Mr. Renfro. He was a great person. Did great things for the block, and I just wanted to say I'm happy this is getting approved, so that's it.
Oh, thank you. It's again approved. Chris. Thank you.
Thank you. Nadine, you have 2 minutes. Take your name for the record, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, I'm Nadine Herring. Thank you for allowing me to be here. I am the proud black mother of a child who had the nerve to tell me that I needed to unlearn everything I thought I knew about him. His identity, his humanity, his reality. This was when he was only 6. At every pediatrician appointment, my 3 cisgender sons were openly unquestioned about their development, while my 1 trans child was therapeutically abused. I moved my family out of 2 states just to ensure that he saw tomorrows, when doctors and relatives rejected him based on how they interpreted his trans experience as a medical affront and his person as a reason to minimize him for sport. I chose to leave my career as an educator of 30+ years. I taught and served students kindergarten through college, but I had to leave because I refused to co-sign educators punishing children for just living their truths and wanting to be seen. I now serve at the Attic Youth Center because the fork in the road speaks to action versus non-action. Trans Day of Visibility is just the start of righting these wrongs. And it is a strong reminder that equity is not optional. It's a damn birthright. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Aster Carroll, and I'm an education specialist at Mazzoni Center here in Philadelphia. And I'm joined by my colleague, May Booth, who is Mazzoni Center's Assistant Director of Community Engagement. We come to you not only as representatives of Mazzoni, but as two LGBTQ+ people who have experienced barriers to affirming healthcare. In case you don't know about Mazzoni, we have a 46-year history of providing quality, comprehensive health and wellness services in an LGBTQ-focused environment while preserving the dignity and improving the quality of life of the individuals we serve. We deliver on that mission through a range of services, including primary care, specialist care, HIV prevention and treatment, STI screening and treatment, behavioral health, and psychiatric care. In 2025, we served over 10,000 patients through 31,500 visits. We know that LGBTQ individuals are disproportionately impacted by a wide range of health challenges when compared to their cisgender and heterosexual peers. They are more likely to delay care, experience mental health concerns, and encounter barriers within these healthcare systems. These disparities are not inevitable. They are driven by gaps in access, representation, and inclusion that must be addressed.
Excuse me, will you be able to state your name for the record, please?
Yeah, of course. My name is May Booth, or Aster. Aster Carroll.
Thank you.
I'm a little taller than Aster, so excuse me moving up the mic. But as two people working on the community engagement team at Mazzoni Center, we have the honor of hearing directly from patients, clients, and community members about the impact of affirming healthcare on their journeys. Their stories show clearly that when people feel seen, respected, and safe, they are more likely to seek care, stay engaged, and experience better health outcomes. We know that city government plays a critical role in shaping community health through the policies it advances and the services it supports. Recognizing LGBTQ+ Health Awareness Week is an important and necessary part of that responsibility. This recognition should not be symbolic alone. It reflects a commitment to ensuring that all Philadelphians have access to affirming, high-quality healthcare. When care is inclusive, we reduce disparities and strengthen the health of our entire city. At a time when LGBTQ rights and access to care are being challenged across the country, local leadership matters. We need you all more than ever before. We are grateful to Councilmember Landau for affirming the City of Philadelphia's role as a partner in protecting and expanding access and inclusivity in healthcare. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Miguel Dalmau, and I live in the 2nd District in South Philadelphia. I'm here in support of Bill number 250329A. I support the entire bill, but I want to highlight the proactive inspection program the bill will create. The inspection program ensures that apartments and homes are automatically inspected to make sure they meet certain standards of living. It seems like something that should have been done ages ago, but better late than never, I guess. The more I read about this program, the more I understand why landlords in Philadelphia want to see this bill, along with others, fail, like we saw today. They don't want to provide us with the minimum standard of living. They are relying on life getting in the way and on tenants who hesitate to hold them accountable as a way to save money and maintain abhorrent apartment conditions. I have been a victim of negligent landlords myself. I have lived in South Philadelphia for the past 3 years, and in that short amount of time, I have already had to move once due to bed bugs in a building, and recently had to have the city replace old pipes underneath the pavement in front of my home that wasn't allowing heat to warm my house during the freezing temperature we've had the last few months. I stayed longer in both situations than I should have because of work, family, kids, and honestly, fear. As a longtime activist for social justice, I know firsthand that immigrants and people of color are often afraid that any interaction with government office could lead to negative consequences, even when we are the victims. Even though we should have nothing to worry about, the fear and the trauma never goes away. Landlords know a lot about the people who live under their roofs. By knowing someone's work history, credit score, and personal background, They also know people whose vulnerability and who might be willing to file a complaint and those who won't. This bill takes the power away from the greedy landlords and gives it back to the people. Thank you, City Council members, for looking out for us, introducing these bills, but please continue to look out for us by implementing them into law and turn them into action. Thank you.
Will Seamus Brennan, sorry about that. David Alexander Jenkins, Melissa Montz, Janet White, Shalimar Pitts, and Seneca Grant. Please make your way to the podium.
Thank you. Seamus Brennan. I'm here today. I am a tenants attorney. I'm the senior housing attorney at the AIDS Law Project of Pennsylvania, where I provide counsel and representation to Philadelphia tenants. I'm here to speak on safe and healthy homes because it's an important step, and I want to thank the housing committees and the council as a whole for their work on this important issue. The current system of voluntary compliance with CRS and other licensing requirements is not working. The tools needed to have tenants hold their landlords accountable to standards that have already been set are needed. So we often see clients facing serious issues, rat infestations, sewage backups, floods, fire alarms going off at all hours, and the tools we have are to beg for changes, to wait to be sued, or to move. This disrupts communities, and it disempowers Philadelphians. The changes that the legislation makes clarify the role and responsibility of the tenant in advocating for themselves, and importantly, it shortens the period over which these violations can be resolved. I want to share briefly one situation which my clients faced in which the CRS system can be seen as it currently is. My clients were living in an apartment in West Philadelphia. They had had a fire in an adjoining unit where they discovered the fire extinguishers did not work. A few months later, their landlord signed a certificate of rental suitability saying that the fire code was fine. 2 years later, they finally received an order of the court holding that that was an invalid CRS. They waited 2 years going to court, being dragged away from their work in order to hear justice. We need something faster. Thank you.
Mr. President, members and guests, David Alexander Jenkins, and I rise in support of Resolution 250330. As I traveled down Broad Street this morning with my eyes affixed on the clock of City Hall, as I moved through the gates of justice into the halls of promise, up the granite steps to this chamber where promise and justice come to meet, I was deep in an old Negro spiritual that would not leave my lips or mind. Fear not, I'm not going to sing today. It is a spiritual that on its face seems a humble prayer of access, a prayer of mercy and divine providence. It's a hymn that pleads, no harm have I done you on my knees. At the time of this hymn's birth, when this America was but a breath, these words were sung in the fields by people enslaved who understood a kind of tabernacle had been prepared for them. You see, on your knees was a call to gather in the safety of clandestinity, and we know what kind of fear that creates, don't we? To gather and to wait for a savior by the way of a conductor who would come when they knew it was safe. I'm almost certain that Councilman Nicholas O'Rourke knows this greatest of spirituals because he has shown up as a conductor to conduct people from the meetings held indeed in public to the halls of a promise and justice and to deliver them by law. And in doing so, he has made many an overseer, he has made many a landlord mad. Members, people are on their knees. Both metaphorically and literally, people are pleading to be protected from the retaliatory injustices of unwanted evictions, pleading for the right to assemble, pleading in peaceful association to participate in legal investigations, the right to be free from predatory behavior that would ask them to choose between the right to safe housing and no housing at all. Brothers and sisters of love, people are pleading. Philadelphia has a legacy of ushering in the protections and freedoms of emancipation, wherever shackles exist in systems of housing and otherwise that face chase the people to come on their knees. It is the duty of this body to rise up to their feet, to rise above hesitation and above fear, and to meet this plea and to deliver the promise of justice within the full authority you have been given. And so today, Reverend O'Rourke, I thank you for the legislation to come here as a conductor. Councilmen, pass this as soon as it finally comes before you. I yield back.
Melissa Mons, Janet White, Shamar Pitts, Seneca Grant, please make your way to the podium.
Council be at ease. If members of City Council can hear my voice, please return back to the City Council floor. Please resume.
Honorable Council President, distinguished members of the City Council, and everyone here today. My name is Kainzal Arthur, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Asian American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Philadelphia, representing over 13,000 Asian-owned businesses here in the city. I stand before you today during Women's History Month, truly humbled and overwhelmed with gratitude for this beautiful resolution and this unexpected honor. As a first-generation Burmese immigrant and a proud mother, I never dreamed my journey from the streets of Yangon to the vibrant neighborhoods of Philadelphia would bring me to this moment in the city I love very much. Everything I have done, from supporting girls and women survivors of violence and human trafficking to creating economic opportunities through the Asian American Chamber of Commerce, has only been possible because of the incredible people who share our passion to build a brighter tomorrow for every family and every community. This recognition is especially meaningful because it was championed by Councilmember Nina Ahmad, a trailblazing leader whose remarkable impact has transformed Philadelphia. As the first South Asian American, first Muslim woman, and first immigrant in recent history to serve on this council, she has opened doors for all of us. As deputy mayor during Mayor Kenny's administration, she became the city's first Asian American cabinet member and created the Department of Public Engagement. Through her leadership in the National Organization for Women, she has fought tirelessly to end sexual harassment, protect nail salon workers, confront human trafficking, and secure living wages for low-income women. Her work on anti-bullying initiatives, trauma-informed approaches to gun violence, and support for small businesses has lifted countless immigrant families and strengthened our entire city. This honor is not just for me. It belongs to every woman and every ally who believes that when we lift each other up, we all rise together. Thank you, Philadelphia, from the bottom of my heart. I am deeply honored, and I promise to keep working alongside every one of you, especially leaders like Councilmember Ahmad, to create the better future that our children deserve. Thank you.
Will Nicole Nobles, William Hines, Sean Thornton, Diana Governor, please make your way to the podium.
Good morning, Council President. Good morning, Council members. I am Chief Inspector Nicole Nobles from the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office. Today, I would like to share some insight about the women in our office. In 2020, Sheriff Rochelle Bilal became the first woman elected to lead the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office in its 181-year history, shattering a significant glass ceiling in the Philadelphia's law enforcement. While she embodies a movement by herself, she has set the standard for us to be an unbreakable force when we all work together. The women of the Sheriff's Office serve in diverse roles, ranging from deputies, civil detectives, to our first ever female canine officer. I manage all specialized units. We all ensure the safety of our courts and the integrity of our judicial system. Beyond traditional law enforcement, our females are working on initiatives in housing stability and food insecurity, illustrating that public safety is about caring for the community. Women deputies of the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office, unique challenges on the first lines, but continue to demonstrate extraordinary professionalism, courage, and dedication to the city and the residents. The women are not just a part of the office, they are essential to the progress. Thank you.
Good morning, Council President and Council members. Thank you for your service and thank you for your time. My name is William Hans. I am a Chief Inspector of Court Operations for the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office, serving in that capacity under the first elected female sheriff in the city and county of Philadelphia, Rochelle Bilal. I would like to speak briefly on the resolution recognizing the women in our office. Our women consistently bring strength to our community that our community desperately needs: communication, empathy, patience, and the ability to diffuse situations before they turn violent. Instead of escalating, they listen. Instead of leading with force, they lead with calm authority. This does not make them weaker officers. This makes them highly effective officers. Women across the country make up around 14% of sworn personnel. This number should increase because our female officers and exempt staff are proof of the success and sustainability they provide. My faith leads me to believe that women are the heart of the family, and our female deputies prove day in and day out that they are the heartbeat of our office and our deputy family. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Council President and City Council members. My name is Sean Thornton, Chief Deputy of Court Operation for the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office. Since Sheriff Rochelle Bilal election in 2020, she has emphasized recognizing the outstanding contributions of women in our office. Under her leadership, Sheriff Bilal firmly believes that a diverse and inclusive workforce strengthens our ability to serve the people of Philadelphia with integrity and dedication. Women contribute across our office in many roles, such as courtroom security, transportation, civil enforcement, and the warrant unit. Additionally, one young woman served both in the K-9 unit and is an active member of the United States Army. Furthermore, we have an outstanding team of women among our professional staff who works diligently to ensure that the Sheriff's Office is functioning well. Their commitment and expertise are vital in keeping our operations running smoothly, from managing administrative duties to coordinating essential programs and services. Their dedication inspires their colleagues to strengthen the foundation of our department, reinforcing our mission to serve the community with excellence. Moreover, I am proud to see women advance into leadership roles as our workplace culture has become more collaborative and supportive. We will continue to build on this momentum, ensuring that all voices are heard and every member has the opportunity to contribute their unique talents to our mission. I encourage you all to support this resolution in recognition of our sheriff and the outstanding women in our office who merit acknowledgement for their contribution. Thank you for your continued support as we work together to foster a more equitable and effective sheriff's office for the city of Philadelphia. Thank you.
Will Deanna Governor, Katrina Temple, Naima Sanchez, Lynn Landez, and Orina Rogers please make your way to the podium?
Reset.
Good morning. My name is Deanna Governor Council, and it is for that reason that I chose not to get involved with politics. However, ironically, I am here today to speak on behalf of a group of citizens of Philadelphia who are very important. And those citizens are our elderly who have lived in owned homes that were inherited. My grandmother is an 82-year-old citizen, and she is also a sibling of one of 13 who were born and raised in Germantown. I'm here on behalf of her older brother, who is 84 years old, and he currently lives in the home that his sister was born in. The home was built in 1902 and purchased in 1925. No major repairs have ever been done except for a furnace that was installed in 2008. The house still has the original terracotta piping for the sewage as well as knob and tubing electric system. L&I was not established until 1951. Currently today, his house does not fall under any of the current safety codes or permits or anything that the city would deem proper for him to live under. We have already gone through the system of BSRP to get him approved. He has been approved to get everything that they cover completed. However, the union reps that they sent out, the roofers, they have sent him a letter stating that in order for him to get the work done, he needs to come up with $12,000. He is a senior. He is an 84-year-old Navy veteran who lives on a fixed income. He hasn't had running water or sewage for about 4 or 5 years. He's currently been charged for a fire hydrant that froze and broke and the water collected in front of his property, as well as a pipe bursting in his basement after the water was already shut off. So I am in support of the amendment to the properties of licenses and owner accountability, but I would like to question what the L&I's accountability is going to be for seniors who lived in homes before these certain codes and everything were ever established. As a veteran and someone who is on a fixed income, he has lived in fear of being told that he is not capable to live on his own, even though he is of mind, body, and of physical presence. He's been living in squalor, afraid that because he can't afford to fix his house, that he's going to be put out and put into a home. And I would like to know what the city is doing to protect those citizens.
You got 2 minutes. Take your name for a record.
Ooh, 2 minutes. You ready? All right. So, good morning. Can you hear me? Oh, there you go. There, because I'm tall. All right. So, good morning or early afternoon, council member and neighbors. My name is Naima Sanchez, she, her pronouns, and I am here today as a proud Philadelphian and as a transgender person whose life, like so many others, is shaped by the systems we build and the care we choose to extend one another. As I begin, I want to stay grounded, or I want to ground myself in gratitude, because in some cities around this country, there are multiple efforts at every level of government to undermine and outlaw TLGBTQ+ protections and access to care, pushing to erase our mere existence. So today, when this body votes to recognize and raise awareness with these 2 pieces of resolutions, naming LGBTQ Health Awareness Week and Transgender Day of Visibility on the record here in Philadelphia, is a commitment to health justice, a commitment to safety, and a commitment to a just Philly. And it says to TLGBTQ+ Philadelphians that your city values your life and is invested in the community with a promise that these resolutions alone is not the finish line, but is the starting point. Because for many of us, especially transgender people, accessing healthcare is not a simple appointment. It is a negotiation of safety. It is bracing ourselves for assumptions, for dismissal, for having to explain our humanity before we can even talk about our symptoms. The data in this resolution tells part of the story, because behind every percentage is a person who delayed care, a person who left the clinic without answers, a person who wondered if their life was valued in that room and in the spaces throughout community they call home. City council members, you have the power to change that story by being proactive to ensure we are taking care of all of our neighbors, celebrating the unique identities that fuel and define what makes our city great. This resolution, or these resolutions, names organizations for doing life-saving work, right? But it should not fall on these organizations or organizers to do it. And so I know my time is running short, and I want to say thank you with my gratitude to each and every one of you who are still here. And I ask that you stay committed to bringing a just Philly for all of us. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Lynn Landis of Philly's Republican Network. I support the expansion of our park system. However, I do not support Bill 250807, nor business improvement districts such as the Center City District. because, in many experts' opinion, the creation of business improvement districts unconstitutionally privatizes public property and government responsibilities. Much of the public does not realize that business improvement districts have the right to take out loans, manage property, condemn property, and tax property owners, all without meaningful requirement for public oversight, public meetings, or public comment. Business improvement districts commit the very travesties upon which the American Revolution was fought: tyranny, taxation without representation, and censorship. Yet City Council seems unconcerned. And on that matter of censorship, we should not be surprised, as City Council and city departments systematically censor the public at every official government meeting by restricting public comments to agenda items only, thereby preventing the public from freely airing their grievances. That is censorship and in violation of the First Amendment of our Constitution, as well as Pennsylvania's Sunshine Act. This, the 250th anniversary of our nation's Declaration of Independence, is a golden opportunity for Philadelphia city government to change course, right these wrongs, and give its citizens something truly to celebrate. Thank you.
Good morning, City Council President Kenyatta Johnson and all City Council and everyone. My name is Arena, as you already know. I'm here to speak in reference to a greater, cleaner, and a greener city, in reference to the recycling and being a block captain. Yesterday, I received some news that our team leader that the city hired, those individuals are not allowed to come out after 3 o'clock into the community to speak with the people in the community that work during the day, that at 3 o'clock their shift is over, and underneath no circumstances will Carlton or Ms. Jones allow them to come out into the community and speak with the people in our community in reference to how they can help us and assist us to keep the city clean, as the mayor wants, one block at a time. In order for us to do our jobs effectively and to keep our neighborhoods clean, if we have any questions or issues, we should be allowed to speak to our team leaders, whether it's in the 1st District, 2nd District, 3rd District, 4th, 5th, 7th, or 12th, or even up to the 35th District. We should have access to those individuals after hours. As supervisors and the managers who have access to city vehicles that can come out to the meetings and bring supplies and pamphlets and answer those questions are the same ones who are telling their team leaders who have access to us during regular business hours that they can't come out. Since they can't come out, why don't the supervisors come out? Since they have a city vehicle, then they can bring out the supplies. So I come to you as a registered voter and who voted for the majority of you City Council and City Council President Kenyatta Johnson. You know, I'm coming to you asking you for help to get those people out in our neighborhoods. April the 11th, the mayor wants us to be out in the neighborhoods and clean up, in which I am. And I just want to know if we can get those people to come to bring us our supplies. If they can't come out after hours, how do we get our supplies to clean? Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, you have 2 minutes. Take your name. Will Keith Crippen, Obona Higgins, Queen Judith Robinson, Tashelle Matthews, and David Edwards please make your way to the podium?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Obona Higgins, and by now you know I'm a 4th-generation chattel slavery survivor. Today, Council is considering Resolution 260021, a technical measure adjusting realty transfer tax exemptions. This shows Council can act decisively when it wants to. But if we can move on tax matters, why is no one speaking decisively or acting decisively for American freedmen? For those who don't know, American freedmen are lineal descendants of chattel slavery. They call us black Americans and all that, but our legal designation is American freedmen. Not one candidate yesterday at Berean Institute spoke about the American freedmen. They spoke about every other subject except the people who built this city and saved this country in the Civil War. It's something very strange about that. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. Let me do my thing.
Yep, tied into the taxes, sir.
Now, I agree with Resolution 260021 and the importance of moving forward on matters that affect the city. But that same decisiveness must extend to the needs of the American Freedmen, Council President. How about that, Council President? You wanted to be a sponsor for the Office of Freedmen Affairs, and we're still waiting for a decision. And you have never mentioned the Office of Freedmen Affairs. You mentioned everything else, but you've never mentioned your people, 7th Ward. So why? We need...
Sir, can you speak on the taxes?
I will finally finish up.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Over and out. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Next person, please. Queen Judith Robinson. Always a pleasure to see you. Please take the floor.
Good day, all. Queen Judith Robinson here regarding 250-329AA and 260-021 regarding the transfer tax. Any opportunity to manage our waste and keep our city, or help keep our city clean, is a great thing, so I support that 100%. Any attempt to prevent fraudulent deeds and tangled titles is a very good thing, so I also support that. But I think prevention is the key as it relates to fraudulent deeds. I'm a real estate professional, and I manage and specialize in tangled title issues. We have some major, major problems, so it's nice to have a back-end approach, but prevention is the key. So since it's Women's History Month, Women Her Story Month. So in the spirit of Mary Mason, I want to invoke her name, Queen of Talk Radio. She encouraged us to don't bury the living and raise the dead. She also encouraged us to keep a scorecard, keep a political scorecard. In closing, yesterday I attempted to try to attend the Housing Advisory Board of the DHCD, Division of Housing and the Advisory Board. They were giving out the incorrect Zoom ID. It kept saying invalid, so maybe we have another Sunshine Act problem here in that the public was not able to attend the meeting where all of the home bills and all of the other issues as it relates to housing were discussed. So can someone please look into that, any attorneys in the room, to deal with that issue as it relates to housing? Very important. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
My name is Keith Crippen. How you doing? How's everybody doing? First of all the people I know in here, I love y'all because y'all made a difference in Philadelphia. I want to say one thing. I've been doing after-school programs that I've been paying for. I've done almost 95 shows in Philadelphia. And right
What's the piece of legislation you're speaking on, sir?
After-school programs. After-school programs. So I've been... You know, I like better after-school programs to keep kids in school or keep them going in school because I want to offer them a lot more than what they might be getting in sports or whatever they might do to I love Philadelphia to the strength of no other. I love this city, and I know that we could come up to a point that we could be the greatest city in Philadelphia, not just for what y'all doing, with all the stuff we could do for kids too. And I know that if you put that in my hand, it could definitely work out to be, not to just go in this century, to go into the next century, because I know my program has been working for kids for the longest time. And I wish everybody take heed to that, because I know what works. And I'm telling you, it works. Because it seems like the kids that are in sports, they don't get in trouble. Let's try for the other 1,600 other kids, because I know this program can work. So thank you for everything. Thank you for what's going on. And thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, council members. My name is Tishelle Mays Matthews. I'm the founder of Community Takeover Project and the president of the Back Bottom Restoration Coalition. I come before you today as a community advocate from West Philadelphia with deep roots in the Black Bottom and Mill Creek community area that have experienced both the strengths of the communities and displacement. As I review the agenda, I see important conversations around property, accountability, tenants, protection, and public land use. These are critical issues, but what is missing is the direct access and ownership for the communities most impacted. Through CTOP and the Black Bottom Restoration Coalition, we are actively organizing and building community support. I currently have over 42 signatures from community members to back the Black Bottom Community Restoration Act. The problem is historic displacement. The solution is community-first policies that prioritize residents to access to city-owned land, expanding funding, access, and supporting community developments. There's 5 pillars: land justice, economic equality, community ownerships, workforce opportunities. We look forward to partnering with the 3rd District. I've been in talks with the 3rd District, Mr. Andrew Goodman, in reference to this act, and we hope that you all support this act, because it don't only benefit the bottom, but this act will benefit the city of Philadelphia as a whole, giving communities first dibs on city-owned properties. So I am not in agreement with Bill 250807, and thank you.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. David Edwards. I'm gonna make sure y'all get out of here to lunch quickly, so I know it's a long day. First and foremost, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm gonna be speaking on the bill that talked about locking the dumpsters, the littering. I do agree with that bill. I believe it's, here we go, 250843, so that's the bill that I do agree on. Sure, no problem. You can hear me better? All right. All right, well, what I want to talk about, last time I was here, I told you guys that I get an opportunity to watch you guys on social, come here and work with you guys, talk to you guys, and like I said, you know, no matter what you do, everybody gonna complain. It is what it is. That's what y'all signed up for, okay? Congratulations. Now, what I want to come in here to do is try to help you guys get to some solutions.
What bill are you speaking on, sir?
I'm agreeing on bill.
What's the name of the bill, sir?
It's your bill. It says introduced by Councilman Squilla for Councilman President Johnson, 250843. I agree with that.
The dumpster bill. Go ahead, sir.
I agree with that.
Yes, sir.
We definitely want to keep our streets clean.
Sure.
Okay, so what I wanted to say, a lot of times when I come in here and listen, because I haven't missed a city council meeting since y'all started. So for me evaluating everything, everybody come in here and talk about a couple things. Money for the school district, that's one of the biggest things. And then people, you know, they come in here with the nonprofits that are doing good work in the community, and they're asking for more funding. So just a little bit about me. I ran track and field Division I Eastern Illinois University. So I'm a big sports person. How many people in this chamber did sports by a show of hands? High school, college? So I think here in Philadelphia, we need to just start rewarding excellence when it comes to nonprofits. So I do have a thing that I think we should do. I'll be real quick. Think about it like the Olympics. You got nonprofits who are new. Let's call them baby boomers.
Could you speak on the bill, though, sir, about the dumpsters? That's the content of the bill that you're
Okay. Well, I'll let y'all go. But
if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah, no problem. I'll let you go. But as soon as we can get some time to talk about how to get those nonprofits some more money, I'm willing to. I have some ways to get them more money.
Thank
the
you very
School
much,
District
sir.
of Philadelphia.
Yes, sir.
I have some ways to help you guys do that too. Okay.
Thank you very
God
much for
bless
your
you.
comments, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Katrina Temple. I am a resident of the Philadelphia for a very long time. I have seen some of you constituents and council people out here. I support the license and inspection bill with Nick O'Rourke. I was one of those victims of being a tenant, being illegally evicted out of my home, okay, without a landlord's rentals license. From 2012 to 2017, landlord didn't have a rentals license, okay? We're talking about they was collecting my money throughout the course of them not having a rentals license. When I wanted to speak up about inhabitable living conditions, guess what? They took my locks off my doors, and I've been fighting for this for a long, long time. And I was very, very angry, but God told me time will come. So now is the time that people will stand up and fight back for what they believe in. I have seen black people being displaced in this city of Philadelphia. It's a crime for shame. You got lawyers and judges upstairs working together, putting evictions on black people. I'm one of them. I have a $16,000 judgment that I want removed. I pay my bills, okay? I am an activist in the city. I have got some of y'all on the boards, okay? I'm out here in these streets with these people. So I feel these people paying 1 PA and all of them, that they being evicted out of their house. We have a right because the Pennsylvania Human Relations Department states in the appendix laws, states that people should have inhabitable living conditions. So it's right that we speak up. I'm just upset, okay? But you guys need to think about this been going on for a long, long time, okay?
Thank you very much.
Council President, there are no other names for public comment.
Thank you very much. That concludes today's public comment period. We will now consider the bills and resolutions on the second reading and final passage calendars. Chief Clerk, could you please read the title of Resolution Number 260218?
A resolution also naming the 6200 block of Osage Avenue, Gerald Wayne Renfro Way, to honor the life, leadership, and enduring legacy of Gerald Wayne Renfro in the Osage Avenue and Pine Street community.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Jamie Gaultier for a motion regarding Resolution Number 260218.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that Resolution Number 260218 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of Resolution Number 260219?
A resolution authorizing Councilmember Gautier to intervene on behalf of and as a representative of City Council in the appeal against the Zoning Board of Adjustment with respect to 4283 Viola Street.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Jamie Gaultier for a motion regarding Resolution Number 260219.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that Resolution Number 260219 be adopted. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. The resolution is adopted. Will the clerk please read the title of Bill Number 250329-A?
An ordinance amending Chapter 9-3900 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Property Licenses and Owner Accountability to clarify licensing requirements, authorize the department to create a proactive inspection program, require public reporting related to code compliance, and establish remedies, damages, and protection for tenants, all under certain terms and conditions.
The chair recognizes Councilmember Nicholas Nick O'Rourke for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill number 250329-A be removed from the calendar and recommitted to the Committee on Housing, Neighborhood Development, and the Homeless.
It has been moved and properly seconded that all those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Bill number 250329-A will be removed from the calendar and recommitted to the Committee on Housing, Neighborhood Development, and the Homeless. Would the clerk please read the title of Bill number 250330-A?
An ordinance amending Chapter 9-800 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Landlord and Tenant to modify the requirements related to good cause for ending a tenancy, add protections against retaliation and harassment for tenants and tenant organizations, specify tenants' rights related to implied warranty of habitability, and provide a legal presumption related to breaches of the implied warranty of habitability, create a tenant right to organize, specify deadlines for asserting claims, and establish and enhance enforcement mechanisms, remedies, damages, and protections, all under certain terms and conditions.
Chair recognizes Councilman Nicholas O'Rourke for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill number 250330-A be removed from the calendar and recommitted to the Committee on Housing, Neighborhood Development, and the Homeless.
It has been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries, and Bill number 250330-A will be removed from the calendar and recommitted to the Committee on Housing, Neighborhood Development, and the Homeless. Would the clerk please read the title of Bill number 250843-AA?
An ordinance amending Chapter 10-700 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Refuse and Littering to require locking dumpsters, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill has been read on 2 different days. The question now is, shall the bill pass finally? Chief Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Phillips. Aye. Councilmember Gilmore Richardson.
Aye.
Councilmember Gautier.
Aye.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Landau.
Aye.
Councilmember Young.
Aye.
Councilmember Harity.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Rourke.
Aye.
Councilmember Driscoll.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Aye.
Councilmember Squilla.
Aye.
Councilmember Bass.
Aye.
Councilmember Ahmed.
Aye.
And Council President Johnson.
Aye, the ayes are 14, the nays are 0. Majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Would the clerk please read the title of Bill number 251025?
An ordinance regulating the direction of movement of traffic on Ryan Avenue between Leon Street and Frankfurt Avenue.
The chair recognizes Councilman Mike Driscoll for a motion regarding Bill number 251025.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill number 251025 be withdrawn.
It has been moved and properly seconded that Bill number 251025 be withdrawn. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it. The motion carries, and Bill number 251025 have been withdrawn. Would the clerk please read the title of Bill number 260021?
An ordinance amending Chapter 19-1700 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Finance Taxes and Collections to amend excluded transactions to the realty transfer tax, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill has been read on 2 different days. The question now is, shall the bill pass finally? Chief Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Phillips.
Aye.
Councilmember Gilmore Richardson.
Aye.
Councilmember Gautier.
Aye.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Landau.
Aye.
Councilmember Young. Councilmember Harity.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Rourke.
Aye.
Councilmember Driscoll.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Aye.
Councilmember Squilla.
Aye.
Councilmember Bass.
Aye.
Councilmember Ahmed.
Aye.
And Council President Johnson.
Aye, the ayes are 14, the nays are 0. Majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Chief Clerk, please read the title of Bill number 260022.
An ordinance to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Main Street, Ridge Avenue, the Wissahickon Creek, Kelly Drive, Falls Road, the Schuylkill River, and Dawson Street extended.
This bill has been read on 2 different days. The question now is, shall the bill pass finally? Chief Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Phillips.
Aye.
Councilmember Gilmore Richardson.
Aye.
Councilmember Gautier.
Aye.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Landau.
Aye.
Councilmember Young. Councilmember Harity.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Rourke.
Aye.
Councilmember Driscoll.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Aye.
Councilmember Squilla.
Aye.
Councilmember Bass.
Aye.
Councilmember Ahmed.
Aye.
And Council President Johnson.
Aye, the ayes are 14, the nays are 0. Majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Chief Clerk, please read the title of Bill number 260055.
An ordinance amending Title 14 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Zoning and Planning by revising and clarifying certain provisions and making technical changes to text that has expired, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill having been read on 2 different days, the question now is, shall the bill pass finally? Chief Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Phillips.
Aye.
Councilmember Gilmore Richardson.
Aye.
Councilmember Gautier.
Aye.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Landau.
Aye.
Councilmember Young.
Aye.
Councilmember Harity.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Rourke.
Aye.
Councilmember Driscoll.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Neill. Councilmember Squilla.
Aye.
Councilmember Bass. Councilmember Ahmed.
Aye.
Council President Johnson.
Aye. The ayes are 14, the nays are 0. Majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Chief Clerk, please read the title of Bill number 260073.
An ordinance amending Section 9-208 of the Philadelphia Code entitled Sidewalk Cafes and Section A-301.1.5 of Title IV, Subcode A, the Philadelphia Administrative Code of the Philadelphia Code entitled Zoning and Use Registration Permits by removing expired provisions related to outdoor entertainment at sidewalk cafes under certain terms and conditions.
This bill having been read on 2 different days, the question now is, shall the bill pass finally? Chief Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Phillips.
Aye.
Councilmember Gilmore Richardson.
Aye.
Councilmember Gautier.
Aye.
Councilmember Jones. Councilmember Landau. Councilmember Young. Councilmember Harity.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Rourke.
Aye.
Councilmember Driscoll.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Aye.
Councilmember Squilla.
Aye.
Councilmember Bass.
Aye.
Councilmember Ahmed.
Aye.
And Council President Johnson.
Aye, the ayes are 14, the nays are 0. Majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Will the Chief Clerk please read the title of Bill number 260074?
An ordinance to amend Title 14 of the Philadelphia Code by adding Section 14-546, entitled 6th District Overlay District, revise Section 14-515, the Northeast Overlay District, remove Section 14-523, the Industrial and Manufacturing Area Overlay District, and make other related changes, all under certain terms and conditions.
This bill having been read on 2 different days, the question now is, shall the bill pass finally? Chief Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Phillips.
Aye.
Councilmember Gilmore Richardson.
Aye.
Councilmember Gautier.
Aye.
Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Landau.
Aye.
Councilmember Young.
Aye.
Councilmember Harity.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Rourke.
Aye.
Councilmember Driscoll.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Aye.
Councilmember Squilla.
Aye.
Councilmember Bass.
Aye.
Councilmember Ahmed.
Aye.
And Council President Johnson.
Aye, the ayes are 14, the nays are 0. Majority of all members having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes. Chief Clerk, please read any additional resolutions on today's final passage calendar.
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing the women of the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office during Women's History Month 2026 for their tireless service, sacrifice, and invaluable contributions to the safety and well-being of the city of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Gilmore Richardson on behalf of Council President Johnson.
The chair recognizes Majority Leader Captain Gilmore Richardson for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. On your behalf, I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution honoring the schools and principals of the 4th Council District for their ongoing commitment to coordination and staying informed through Monday morning roll call meetings, introduced by Councilmember Jones.
Chair recognizes Councilmember Jones for a motion on the resolution, and good job on this one because they have been meeting for the past several years consistently, sir.
You notice. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. I gleefully now move for the adoption.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution declaring March 16th through March 20th, 2026 as National LGBTQ Health Awareness Week in the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Landau.
Chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution authorizing the Committee on Public Health and Human Services to hold hearings examining the state of the LGBTQ+ health in Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Landau.
Chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution recognizing March 31st, 2026 as Transgender Day of Visibility in the City of Philadelphia, a day to celebrate and recognize the achievements and contributions of transgender people and to lift up the joy, light, and laughter that transgender people experience and bring into our communities, introduced by Councilmember Landau.
Chair recognizes Councilman Rue Landau for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution honoring and recognizing March 24th, 2026 as National Cheesesteak Day in the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Young.
Chair recognizes Councilman Young.
Thank you, Mr.
Can I do
President.
an amendment for vegan cheesesteaks as a part of that resolution, sir?
Absolutely. That's a part of the family, too. We got the chicken, too.
Thank you, sir. I feel included. Chair recognizes Councilman Jeffrey J. Young for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
A privileged resolution honoring Dr. Kind Zoll Author, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Asian American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Philadelphia, for her leadership, entrepreneurial achievements, and commitment to advancing economic opportunity and community empowerment in the City of Philadelphia, introduced by Councilmember Ahmed.
Chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Nina Ahmed for a motion on the resolution.
Thank you, Council President. I move for the adoption of the resolution.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the resolution be adopted. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Chief Clerk, please read the title of the next resolution.
Council President, there are no further resolutions in my possession.
Thank you very much. Are there any speeches on behalf of the minority? The chair recognizes Councilmember Nicholas O'Rourke.
Thank you, Mr. President. As many of my colleagues know, yesterday 2 members of HAPCO filed an injunction to block this council from voting on the Safe, Healthy Homes Act. Today was supposed to be a moment to recognize over a year of hard work, countless conversations, amendments, and real engagement across this body. Instead, we're facing a bad faith attempt to delay and to distract. And I'll be honest, it doesn't just frustrate me. From the calls and the texts that I've received, I know many of you feel the same way. It's a disrespect to the democratic process and to this institution. At the end of the day, this is about whether we're allowed to do the job our constituents sent us here to do. And I am not going to be deterred from doing the thing that the people sent me here to do. I want to thank Council President Johnson and each of my colleagues for the support as well as the encouragement that you've shown in this moment. It really does mean a great deal to me, not just in this moment, but over the course of the year of the challenges that I've had with my family. The care and concern and the love that you have shared have meant a great deal to me. What's been clear, though, in every conversation is that there is shared commitment across this body to keep moving, to schedule a new hearing as soon as possible, and ultimately deliver what we've promised: safe, healthy homes for our constituents. To the organizers, the tenants, the small landlords who have pushed for this legislation for months, keep on pushing. To the tenants of 42nd and Chester who rallied yesterday because of the lack of heat, the power outages that they have faced through this winter, keep on pushing. To my team who have worked tirelessly to prioritize those most in need, not only to get a paycheck, but because they believe, like me, that the people's needs are holy, keep on pushing. It's unquestionable who is acting in good faith here and who isn't. It's the people whose safety is on the line, not those worried about their bottom line and don't want to be bothered to actually follow the law while they do it. So we're going to keep on pushing, and we're going to see what the end's going to be. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Justice delayed is not justice denied. Speeches on behalf of the majority. The chair recognizes Councilman Rulandau.
Thank you, Council President. First of all, amen to my colleague, Councilmember Nick O'Rourke. Today I introduced a resolution declaring this week, March 16th to the 20th, as National LGBTQ plus Health Awareness Week in the city of Philadelphia. The date shows us that LGBTQ plus people, especially trans people and our Black and brown LGBTQ plus community members, have significantly more challenges when accessing healthcare resources and support in comparison to their straight and cis peers. There are existing inequities in accessing healthcare, finding quality and affordable housing, getting fair treatment and education, and more. Queer people also face a greater risk of taking their own life. This weekend, my office will be holding an LGBTQ plus health fair in the neighborhood that is open and free to all Philadelphians. We will offer vaccines, rapid testing, menstrual products, sexual health resources, housing case management, legal advice on changing your name, and much more. Please stop by if you have a chance. Amid Trump's substantial rollbacks to funding and access to LGBTQ plus healthcare, including gender-affirming care, HIV prevention and testing, and mental health resources, I also introduced a resolution today authorizing the Committee on Public Health and Human Services to hold hearings examining the state of LGBTQ plus health and healthcare access in Philadelphia. I look forward to hearing from the experts about what's at stake and what needs to be done to protect our queer community. Finally, today I introduced a resolution recognizing Monday, March 31st, as Transgender Day of Visibility, an opportunity to honor the countless transgender and non-binary Philadelphians who have shaped our history and uplift the work of those who stood at the front lines of the future. But visibility alone is not enough. Across this country in the last year, we've seen a wave of anti-trans legislation, bills banning healthcare, policing identities, and forcing people to live inauthentically. Philadelphia is a city where trans people belong, where we will continue to fight for rights, healthcare access, and protections. I look forward to the trans flag being raised on March 31st outside City Hall and other things to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good job, Member Rulandau. The chair recognizes Councilmember Majority Leader Catherine Gilmore Richardson.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. President. Today I rise to thank you and all of our council colleagues for voting in favor of the legislation we just passed, which was the Generational Wealth Preservation Bill, which removes a significant financial barrier to building generational wealth here in the city of Philadelphia and makes it easier for families to pass down property from one generation to the next. Previously, only homes that were fully paid off were exempt from the city's realty transfer tax. So if a home had an outstanding mortgage, heirs were required to pay the realty transfer tax on the remaining debt before a new deed could be recorded, which could cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Ask me how I know. As an example, if you inherited your family home with an outstanding mortgage of $100,000, you would need to pay $4,578 in transfer taxes before you can record the new deed. To many Philadelphians, this could mean the difference between keeping and losing your family home. But after today, not anymore. The Generational Wealth Preservation Bill, which we passed today, amends the Philadelphia Code to clarify that heirs are not required to pay the realty transfer tax when inheriting a family home with an outstanding mortgage that cannot be paid off by the estate. This is a common sense change that makes the process more fair and equitable while empowering families to build and maintain their generational wealth. Because a family home is often the most meaningful thing a parent or a grandparent or loved one can leave to their loved ones. This bill makes sure that a tax bill is not standing between a grieving family and their ability to hold on to their foundation, particularly when they may already be navigating challenges like tangled titles or deed fraud. Today marks real progress, and I want to thank Community Legal Services and all of our legal service partners, our Department of Records, our Commissioner, Jim Leonard, Tracy, his entire team, Department of Revenue, our Commissioner, Kathleen McColgan, Rebecca Lopez Chris, and their entire team, and also my awesome hardworking legislative and comms team, the whole team KGR. Thank you all so very much for all of your hard work, and to all the organizations and especially the community members who came in to provide public comment and testimony during our Finance Committee hearing earlier this month in favor of this legislation. So while we continue to celebrate this win, know that the work and the journey to empower Philadelphia families continue, and we will help all build generational wealth here in the city of Philadelphia. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Majority Leader Gilmore Richardson, and great job. Chair recognizes Councilwoman Jamie Gauthier.
Thank you, Council President. Today, I introduce legislation that corrects the zoning for 3rd District school buildings slated for closure by the School District of Philadelphia. Specifically, I'm remapping 5 at-risk schools as, quote, special purpose civic, a category created a couple years ago for public institutions like schools. This ensures that the conversation around the school district's facilities master plan stays focused on the most important consideration, our young people. Because when students and the community asked the district about their plans for Paul Robeson High School and Blankenburg Elementary's buildings, the district said redevelopment. Last week, I went to Robeson High School to speak directly with students about the district's plan to close their school. Robeson students expressed unanimous opposition to the closure, and I could hear the fear, anger, and confusion in their voices as they talked about losing a place that feels like a safe haven and a second home. But there is another undercurrent moving through Robeson's student body, gentrification. During my visit, I could not help but notice a sign that students had put up in the hallway. They graciously let me borrow the sign for today's meeting, which, as you can see, says, "Don't be a sellout, stop gentrification. Location, 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 save Paul Robeson." Our kids made that sign. They know exactly what is happening to their neighborhood, and they are not willing to go quietly. When University City High School closed, Paul Robeson became the last public high school in the heart of University City, a stone's throw from some of the world's finest scientific institutions. It is also in the former Black Bottom, a neighborhood that the city and institutional partners bulldozed and erased to make space for campus expansion. This sign and what I've heard from Robeson students, teachers, staff, parents, and community members over and over again is that they see the proposed closure for what it is: the latest chapter in a long story of pushing working-class Black and brown families out of University City. This is not paranoia. This is pattern recognition. Robeson students are talking in their classrooms about what's motivating the school district to close a school with a 96% graduation rate that is sending kids to Harvard, a school that is succeeding by every measure that matters. How could they not? They can see the construction cranes from their classroom window. They see the new offices and new luxury apartments rising all around them, filled with people who did not grow up in our neighborhoods. So while this body may not have a formal vote on the school district facilities plan, we do have power to uncouple the district's inappropriate choice to talk about school closures and redeveloping still open schools at the same time. The school district should be focused on educational outcomes, not development ones. You do not get to plan the sale of a building while our children are still sitting in it, not on my watch. To be clear, I support the district working with the city to transform already vacant schools, but I am fiercely opposed to talking about redeveloping buildings with students in them. And while Robeson may be the most vulnerable to redevelopment, we are also protecting Parkway West, Martha Washington, and Blankenburg too, because they matter just as much. I'm grateful that the school district says that they heard the voices of the community and will keep Motivation High open. I am introducing a map change for Motivation High too, because it is just that important. The students at Robeson, Parkway West, Motivation, Martha Washington, and Blankenburg deserve the same care and commitment and the same investment in their futures. Our schools belong to our communities, not developers. And the school district does not get to hand them over to developers while our children's backs are turned. My legislation says, not on my watch, and not without a seat at the table for the people who built these communities, who filled these classrooms, and who are still there and still fighting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chair recognizes Councilmember Curtis Jones, Jr.
Wow. My daddy came from the Black Bottom, so I can relate to that expansion thing. So tomorrow, God willing, will come the end of Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan. Tens of thousands of Muslims will be able to go back to eating during the course of the day. But one of the things that happened Saturday was what is called an iftar, and that was a breaking of the fast at my home. One of the attendees was recognized by Councilmember Gutierrez, Tone Barr. Came to the house, we were talking. After we ate succulent lamb, you wouldn't be interested.
They got vegan lamb too.
Yeah, we had fish fried rice, we had barbecue chicken off the grill, man, we ate. And so we all sat in the living room, and I thought we were going to start talking about total religious stuff, but that did not happen. It was more about what is going on with our young people. And Tone talked about it, and one of the things that he raised was the fact that we have to not speak down to our young people, but speak at our young people and go through the means and mechanisms that they understand and relate to. And what that meant with a lot of fanfare was video games. This is called Blockverse. And as soon as I picked up, or he picked up this game, the young person that was in the room who was paying us no attention leaned in, started listening. So briefly, what this is, if you ever heard of Grand Theft Auto, which is an exercise in like beast kind of behavior, you're doing some beast mode stuff where you are demonizing young people, you're running over seniors, you're snatching people's pocketbooks, you're robbing people, and you get points for it. What this does is entertains that, but with consequences. Once you snatch that car and get caught, here's how much time you can get. If you go on this, quote, caper robbery mission, and all of a sudden somebody snitches on you, here's what happens when you go to court. And I just thought, colleagues, that this speaks to our young people where they are. I kid you not. The young man that attended the iftar did not care what we were talking about until we picked up this thing. So you can't buy this. We can't buy it. But as it's developed, it may be attracted to your schools to use and as a R&D measure to kind of have discussions about consequences. And what is interesting is based on Philly, parts of your district are in there, remember Guardian, 52nd Street, 56th Street, and others, but it is a real translatable way to come to our young people and talk about consequences. I'll end on this. To let young people think that they could go around doing whatever without consequence is ludicrous. There is a consequence to everything we do. And it's about time some of our young people learn them. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Member Jones. Chair recognizes Councilmember Jeffrey J. Young.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I want to commend my colleagues, Majority Leader Catherine Gilmore Richardson, on this incredible piece of legislation. People, as an attorney who've represented folks in estates and tangled titles, I can tell you countless occasions how taxes and liens get in the way of really allowing people to fully utilize that generational wealth, fully get the full value of that generational wealth. So this legislation is going to change lives, I think, for people in our city. So thank you, Council Member, for this legislation. I also want to commend my colleague, Council Member Gautier, for your legislation and using your power as a district council member to represent the best interests of your district. That legislation, I think, is our tools that we have to fight some of these things that are wrong with our communities, to fight gentrification in our communities. So, I stand with you on that fight 100%. This Saturday, March 21st, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., my office will be hosting a post-Eid toy giveaway at Penrose Recreation Center. That is at 11th and Susquehanna. We are partnering with the Philly Majlis. Councilman Jones, thank you. Commissioner Omar Sabir, the Commissioner's Office, thank you. Maka Masjid, thank you for participating and supporting our toy drive this Saturday. This is a special opportunity for us to continue celebrating the joy of Eid by making sure our young people feel seen, supported, and celebrated while bringing neighbors and families together in the spirit of generosity and community. So I just want to say Ramadan Mubarak. On next Tuesday, March 24th, my office will be hosting a community meeting on the proposed school district facilities plans for families and community members in the Bates Martin, Warren, and Robert Morris catchments. We will be joined by representatives of schools, of friends of school groups. The school district said they are committed to attend. So we want to bring answers to the community regarding what's going to happen to the elementary school with almost 900 kids. So the meeting will take place at the city school, which is at 24th and Poplar, 860 North 24th Street, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's again 24th and Poplar at the city school from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday, March 24th. If you can't make it in person, we will also have it live streamed on my Facebook page. That is at Jeffrey Young Jr. Today, Mr. President, we introduced a resolution honoring National Cheesesteak Day. But cheesesteak is more of a celebration than a sandwich. It's a celebration of Philadelphia, is what Philadelphia is. From its origins in South Philly to its global recognition today, cheesesteaks represent our city's history, resilience, and pride. This resolution honors not only the iconic food, but remember, small businesses, right? Small businesses in our communities that make up these shops. The generations of workers that have kept the tradition alive and strengthening our local economy and preserving our cultural staple that continues to bring people together from across Philadelphia and worldwide. Cheesesteak shops across the city contribute to our economy, to our tourism, to our cultural life, and while withstanding some of the traditions that we love. In our district, in the 5th Council District alone, we have Del Rossi's, who is a Michelin Bib Gourmand winner. There are other cheesesteak spots who have also been recognized by Michelin, D'Alessandro's, Angelo's. I just want to give a quick shout out to other iconic cheesesteak spots in the 5th Council District. I mentioned Del Rossi's. We have Cleaver's, which is down here in Center City, Joe's Steaks in Fishtown, Larry's is in North Philadelphia, and of course, the iconic Max's Cheesesteaks at Germantown and Erie, and the new black-owned cheesesteak spot, Cheesesteak Bar, Taste Cheesesteak Bar down here in Center City on JFK, also in the 5th Council District. I know Councilmember Phillips mentions a new cheesesteak spot, Bob's at 19th for Norris. I gotta get there. I haven't gotten there yet, but I plan to get there this weekend. But we just really want to recognize the small businesses that contribute. So I recognize cheesesteaks, but it's really in honor of the small businesses here in our city. You can find them at any pizza store and any poppy store in the city, right? And as long as we continue to support those stores will continue to support our communities.
What's a poppy store?
Excuse me. So my favorite cheesesteak, to be honest, is
Wait, now, before you say that, remember.
Listen, cheesesteak is my favorite food. So I'm not gonna, I'm from Philly through and through. Cheesesteaks are my favorite food. And I will, anywhere we go, I'm gonna see they have a good cheesesteak. If it has Philly in front of it, I don't get it, right? So, but my favorite cheesesteak spot, just iconic to me, just hanging out, is Ishkabil, was just hanging out on South Street, just loving that South Street vibe and enjoying myself. But I love D'Alessandro's as well. I love Max's as well. And I love the corner store cheesesteaks. I love City View cheesesteaks, right? Pizza stores got good cheesesteaks too. So, but just support our small businesses is what I really want to get at and what I want to say, so we can continue to grow our city and grow our commercial corridors.
Let's bring it to the floor. Bring your best from your district and let's decide.
Let's go. We can have it. We can have that. That's so Philly. I love that.
Steak off. It's good.
I love that. Let's figure that out.
I officially appoint Member Jones and Member Young to the City Council Cheesesteak Steak-Off Committee.
That's going, and Angelo's. Angelo's got a Michelin bib as well, right? So, but on a serious note, but again, I just really want to thank those small businesses because cheesesteaks are rooted in working classness in Philadelphia and neighborhood pride. As we all talking about different neighborhoods, that is neighborhood pride. That is something that's so special to Philly. So we're going to continue to eat cheesesteaks. And we're going to continue to support our small businesses. And Mr. President, we will make sure we have some veggie steaks for you as well.
Thank you,
on
sir.
the late night veggie steaks, they hit the spot too.
Thank you.
But on a more serious note, today we introduced legislation that would hold corporate landlords accountable to its tenants when it comes to Airbnbs and limited lodging. This legislation is about transparency and respect for neighbors. Too often, residents sign the lease or they buy into a condo building without knowing that short-term rentals may be operating right next door. This bill ensures that tenants and owners are clearly informed upfront so they can make decisions that are right for their families for their quality of life. I don't want to move into an apartment building and find out that it's a hotel, right? It destroys the quality of life. We have some in our district right now that are used for Airbnbs where there are parties every weekend, they're setting fires. Who wants to live like that? So this measures about accountability to those corporate landlords. By requiring disclosure communication, we are setting clear expectations for landlords and operators while giving residents a voice and basic protections, including the ability to act if those expectations are not met. And so we look forward to having this conversation. Again, Mr. President, some of the best legislation comes out of the voice of our constituents. We've gotten multiple calls on these properties in our districts because for some reason these corporate landlords just, either they can't fill the building up with quality tenants or they're just greedy and want to take away the housing stock from our city. You depress demand, right? You depress the supply rather, the demand rises, prices rise, right? So that's simple economics. And so we have to do something about that. And ensuring that there are quality places for our residents to live. Today we also introduced a resolution that turns vacant and underutilized land into real opportunities for families in the 5th Council District. By authorizing these properties, transfer of these properties, we're taking a concrete step toward creating new pathways to home ownership under the Turn the Key program. These homes will be made affordable and accessible to Philadelphia residents, helping more families put down roots and build that generational wealth that we speak about. At its core, this is about an equity investment, ensuring that development in our neighborhoods benefit the people who live there, and that the future of the 5th District includes more homeowners, stronger communities, and lasting opportunities. And I want to say this, we get flack from people all the time about our land use policies, but we are legislating in a manner that our constituents elected us to legislate in. And so when it comes to supporting projects like Turn the Key, yes, we are supportive. We want to move the units. We want to have 30,000 units, but we have to understand that each neighborhood is a different market, right? Sometimes the market can't withstand a property that's $280,000, right? Or the people who live in that market, for lack of better words, can't afford that $280,000. So I want to commend my colleague, Council Member Lozada, for fighting for her community, because those residents, even with the $280,000, even with all the subsidies, still can't afford it. So let's increase those subsidies. Let's increase that subsidy to $100,000, right? We have $800 million in this home bond. Let's figure out how to put that money in the hands of the people of the city of Philadelphia, so they can really afford a house at $280,000. Some neighborhoods is a market-based, is market-driven model. Some markets can't withstand, the people in the market can't withstand that. So let's work for people, right? And not corporations, not developers, work for the people and ensure that the people can afford some of these homes. And just so happens that in my council district, this is what the market is. And these particular units that we are supportive of today are going to be condo units. We're going to offer a different style of housing to residents. And this neighborhood is a mixed neighborhood. A block away, we have low-income housing being developed by Pathways, right? That's traditional low-income housing. We're creating mixed communities. That's how communities thrive. Create that balance. And we're going to continue to create that balance with planning with the people, and not planning for those people. So thank you, Mr. President. I look forward to continuing to work with the residents in North Philadelphia as we improve their quality of life.
Thank you, sir. Planning with, not for people. Very well said. Shout out to Phillips Steaks in South Philadelphia. Phillips Steaks in South Philadelphia. Chair recognizes Councilman Dr. Nina Ahmed.
Thank you, Council President, and to Councilmember Young. It's Eid tomorrow. We could use some cheesesteaks. So, advanced Eid Mubarak to all who celebrate. Today, I wanted to, in recognition of Women's History Month, I introduced a resolution honoring Dr. Kainzaw, author, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Asian American Chamber of Commerce of Greater Philadelphia, for her exceptional leadership, entrepreneurial achievements, and commitment to supporting Asian American businesses and strengthening economic opportunity throughout the region. Since 2016, Dr. Arthur launched entrepreneurial ventures here in the United States dedicated to women facing significant hardships, including survivors of domestic violence, human trafficking, and creating pathways to economic stability for women through employment, mentorships, and business training. Beyond our borders, she built an international career rooted in service and leadership, contributing to initiatives as a senior officer for social welfare, women, labor, and migrant workers with the Association of Southeast Asian Nations in Jakarta, as well as a career in journalism with NHK World International in Tokyo. So it was my pleasure to introduce this resolution today and to recognize the outstanding member of our community that Dr. Kainzaw Arthur is. I also, yesterday, I joined Representative Malcolm Kenyatta and medical professional scientists and community climate advocate for the Philadelphia public health leaders responding to the weakening of air quality protections event. And We spoke about what the federal government is doing is dismantling all of the precautions that we need to take in order to have a healthy environment. And while we were doing that, it reminded me, in the company of so many environmental justice leaders, about the Lankanaw Environmental Science Magnet High School. This is the place that is creating our environmental stewards of tomorrow. Lankanaw is the only CTA program for eco-agriculture, food, and natural resources in the entire city. Students participate in local internships, have access to incredible partnerships with organizations like the Food Trust, the EPA, the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society, and can engage in hands-on learning due to their 17 acres of land lab attached to the Schuylkill River. Lankanaw High School provides a direct workforce pipeline to one of our state's biggest industry, agroecology. The school has a 98% minority enrollment with 100% of students coming from economically disadvantaged backgrounds. And all of them leave Lankanaw with leadership skills as peer educators, guides, and again, as I said, stewards of our globe. And I cannot understand why the school district continues to recommend to close it. I will stand with Lankanaw, its students, and its families, and with many other schools on that list. And I applaud my colleague, Councilmember Gautier, for her introduction of her resolution today to protect these pieces of property, to keep them for educational purposes. So I implore all of you to please take a look. The only silver lining that has come out of this is people have discovered Lankanaw. There were so many, including our chair of the Education Committee, who said in a meeting that he was not aware of the Lankanaw High School, even though his children are not quite ready for high school yet. And we've heard from other parents who said, oh, we have to look at that school. So for us to be so cavalier in throwing away a crown jewel of our education system seems to me extremely problematic. Anyway, I will move on to say that we put Philadelphia on the map yesterday as well, participating in the Women's History Month panel on lawmakers advancing menopause rights, along with senators and legislators from other states, including Illinois, Virginia, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. And it was a privilege to join so many powerful women in an intergovernmental conversation, learning from each other and sharing what we've achieved in our own jurisdictions. And we're going to actually hopefully invite them in our 250th birthday party in Philadelphia so we can celebrate making sure women are full participants in our economy and that we recognize what it is they need in terms of accommodations and make sure they're not discriminated against asking for those accommodations. And lastly, I wanted to thank Council President for inviting me and my office to join you and Councilmember Harity as part of your Quality of Life tour. That place was packed and people were there very late, hearing from all different departments. It was an extremely valuable exercise, I believe, and a lot of the community members came up to me to talk about when they can do more of these, right? And I think this is where we take government to the community, and I thank you, Council President, for this initiative. And, you know, just to wrap up, what we saw yesterday, what I did yesterday is the favorite part of my job as a legislator, is connecting with our constituents. And so I was very glad to be able to join all of you, and hopefully there's more to come. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple of things I wanted to mention today. And one is that I introduced an ordinance authorizing the committee or the commissioner of public property to execute and deliver a deed for the Philadelphia Authority of Industrial Development for property located at 5928-30 Germantown Avenue, which, for those of us who know it's the Germantown Town Hall. And this legislation represents another step forward in advancing thoughtful redevelopment and ensuring that publicly owned land is utilized in ways that support economic growth and community stability in our neighborhoods. And I wanted to mention that also, as we think about the Germantown Town Hall, also to mention that, because someone talked a little bit earlier about Germantown High School, and that it was, sold for $100,000. And I just really want to make sure that I'm clear, because I hear that quite often. And what is said is that the city of Philadelphia sold it. City Council sold it. Councilwoman Cindy Bass sold it. And the fact of the matter is, all three of those things are absolutely untrue, because none of us own Germantown High School. It was owned by the School District of Philadelphia, and I want to just state for the record, it was sold as part of a package deal with 5 properties to Concordia Advisors for $6.8 million. And then Concordia further unloaded it. So I just wanted to put that out and on the record. And so as we continue this work, it's important to make sure that we hold the school district accountable as we get ready to do public hearings, as we get ready to do our budget hearings. It's important that we make sure that the district understands that when you make these kinds of decisions, we are the ones who are held accountable. We are the ones that are public facing, that the public asks questions of, and want to see these kinds of matters stop. We don't want to feel played by the school district when they come in and give us the, oh, this is what's best. When you haven't included the community, you cannot make decisions without including the people who are most affected. So I just want to say that in advance of the budget hearings that we expect coming up soon. I also wanted to share a quick announcement for next week, which is that we'll be hosting Imhotep Institute Charter High School STEM program next week, who have done just recently an educational trip to Japan, sharing both experiences and telling us what they've learned through global exposure and innovation. And I just want to encourage all of my colleagues to add that to their schedule to make sure that they can be there next week, as this is going to be just a great presentation. And we've heard from Imhotep a number of times, and they've always been exceptional, and this will be so as well. So we just want to make sure everybody knows and comes out. And finally, next weekend, is the renaming and street dedication for Saudia Schuler Way. We want to make sure everybody knows it's going to be something. Y'all already know. It'll be next Saturday between 9 and 11 a.m. at the corner of Broad Street, North Broad, and Pike in the 8th Council District. So we hope folks can come out. Please add it to your schedule. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Mark Squilla.
Thank you, Mr. President. Real quick, a week from tomorrow, March 27th, we'll be celebrating Philly Flag Day 2026 with the raising of the 250th Philly flag at City Hall. There's an invitation on everyone's desk. Hopefully people can make it. Please RSVP to Ann in my office if you're available. We'll also be honoring citizens who embody the Philadelphia Memento message, let brotherly and sisterly love endure, display upon our city flag. H. Chess Lenfest will be recognized for his North 10 vision in the 5th District. He lives in the 5th District as an example of the Philadelphia Memento message in action. Hope to see everybody there. Thanks.
Thank you. That's all for the speeches. The chair recognizes Councilmember Cindy Bass for a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. President. And before I do that, I just also wanted to, again, wish our colleagues happy birthday, Councilmember Harity, and also tomorrow, Councilmember Driscoll, happy birthday. Thank you.
Hey!
Happy birthday. I move that council stand adjourned until Thursday, March 26, 2026 at 10 a.m.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that council stand adjourned until Thursday, March the 26th at 10 a.m. All those in favor will signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? The ayes have it and the motion carries. Thank you all very much today.